What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the third edition of our old school hip hop discussion. I'm your host, Sean, Stay Puff 1983. I got Big Remo joining me. He's been with us the previous two shows, along with Matthew Odom. What's going on?
What's up?
And I got my brother Jace with me here. We've only been back for like the last half hour, so
yeah, pretty much.
we pretty much just had to get ready for this show right here. So
man, I was like, how they gonna pull it off? I was like, they still at the show right now.
Sure, we ain't got home till like 8:20. Like, man.
Yeah, traffic on I-4 is a bitch. I'll say that, man.
Sure.
But the first thing I did when I got home, I washed up and I opened up IG, and the first thing I see is Black Rob passed away. And I'm like, this ain't news I want to see opening up IG.
Yeah, the first thing I come home, go on Twitter, and I see Black Rob, rest in peace, Black Rob. Like, oh no.
Yeah. And this is just a week. Yeah, a week after DMX passed away. And I'm like, damn. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Black Rob was on the level of X in terms of popularity, but in 2000, he was a big part of the Bad Boys. With that album, he put out Life Story, and that hit song.
Yeah, that song got
2 platinum albums. Black Rob. People seem to forget this album. The album went platinum. People seem to forget that it was a platinum selling album.
And that hit was a monster.
The whole hit was big.
That was a monster. That shit carried Bad Boy for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
outside of Biggie, Mace album went platinum, right?
Yeah,
first album, yeah.
And Black Rob album went platinum. And I keep forgetting the last album, first album did went platinum. I know. Have you knew that last album went platinum? Money, Power, Respect.
Because I had to go platinum with that hit song.
Yeah, but it had Looking at Me on there. The Mace album had Looking at Me. It had 24 Hours to Live with DMX and
Black Rob on there.
That was the best song on the album.
That's the best song on the entire album.
Yeah, it had what do you call it? Was Can't Nobody Hold Me Down on that?
No, that was on Puff album.
So then there was the other one. It was Been Around the World, right?
I think Been Around. Yeah, I think that was like the third.
Or were they both on Puff? Puff take both of those. He took those. We took both of those.
Yeah, Mace had Bad Boy. You Make Me Feel So Good.
Yeah.
And then that other song.
I think he had 3 or 4 singles over.
That album was a monster too, though.
Yeah,
I was trying to see.
That came out during. That was out during All Eyes on Me and It Was Written. I remember that. It was like at the same time. Those were all the albums.
Yeah, around that same time period.
I think 96, 97.
Yeah.
And then Black Rob came out right out of that. Right up after that. What, around like 98, 99?
Yeah. I remember like Black Rob. Like,
he was on the Victory on that album. And he was on Mace, like I said, the 24 Hours to Live.
Yeah. That was before he got that hit.
Like his starting. That was his start. Then he came out with the Life Story album, and that
album was a monster, dude. I used to listen to that album. Just the intro, man. The intro was like, that album start to finish. You didn't have to fast forward a song. Literally on that album, you didn't have to fast forward one song. Like you could just.
The 2 songs that Joe Hooker was on, I thought was dope, man.
Man, Joe Hooker was my boy. I love Joe.
I thought those songs were kind of dope.
I dare you.
Yeah. Yes. I just posted that in my story. Yeah, I got to post that.
That was my shit,
man. But you know what song that I would listen to on repeat? The song with the Locks.
Can I Live?
Can I Live? That shit was boss.
Yes. Yeah. All 4 of them killed it lyrically.
He had the song with J-Lo.
Yeah, J-Lo was on.
He had a song with J-Lo for him to be and that was you know what I'm saying, that was big because that's like he's like a nobody at that time, nobody knew about him. I mean, the hip hop community knew about him, but like small, just from those songs. But man, he was on there with J-Lo. He had a song with J-Lo. And it wasn't like a single. It was like
it wasn't.
It was like
an album. It's an album song. Spanish. The song with the Down the Line, the joint.
Yeah.
Was that G-Dep debut?
Yeah.
No, G-Dep on debut on Bad Boy or
on that song? Yeah, I think
Black Rob on
that
album because cause I don't think he was on anything previously.
Nah, he wasn't.
He was on the Mall song on Gang Starr's album, Moment of Truth.
Nah, that was later. That album was later. That was after.
Moment of Truth 98
was 98.
Or 98, 99, wasn't it?
That was 98.
It was 98. Yeah, it was 98.
Okay.
So,
but I mean,
99 was the greatest hit album.
His album came out after that. So yeah, that was probably.
Was he under Bad Boy at that time? That's why I'm.
Yeah, that was probably like some of his early appearances before, because his album didn't come out until like
2001.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah. So yeah, that was an early one.
Yeah, he signed with Bad Boy in 1998.
I heard Black Rob for the first time on the Crew album. You know what I'm saying? You remember Crew? Just Another Case?
Yeah, I remember
that. He was on a couple of
Dirty 30, that album, the Dirty 30. Yeah, he was all over that album. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I heard about him. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how I think he got to Bad Boy, because the brother that produced for the Crew, the rapper dude on there, he became a hitman. So when he became a hitman for Puffy, he just brought Black Rob with him because their other rapper went to jail. So it was like he came like it was like a part of the group, almost like the Beatnuts type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And then he went over there, and that's when they started. Black Rob started. He was like the main rapper. Once he got with Buck Wild and they did Whoa.
That was right.
Yeah, it was right.
He was out of there. He was out of there.
But man, what a shame, man! Back to back weeks, man. This kind of feel what happened last year when we had Marky D,
Marky D was this year, February.
Yeah.
It was Ecstasy.
No, it was
Ecstasy.
Sabadoo, and freaking MF Doom, man. Yeah. He died in October 31st, but they announced it on New Year's Eve. And that was such a rough one.
Hip hop.
Hey, and damn near had Dr. Dre go with.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, that was a scare. Yeah. That one, you saw that, like, oh no.
Man, you gotta give people their flowers, man, while they're here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, like, and like I said, like we were saying backstage, like I try not to play the blame game, you know what I'm saying? Because people got all kinds of things going on in their life, and people's schedules always, aren't on the same level. But like, like I don't blame anybody for that. I mean, God just, had other plans for the brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, oh, it's because he was on drugs and all this, you know what I'm saying? This goes for both of them. It's like, I'm not going to say that because, we do what we do. We make our own choices, you know what I'm saying? But, I never want to be like, oh, well, if you would have did this, because I don't think it's fair to blame anybody.
Yeah, you can't really blame DMX because his life story growing up was just awful.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? And there's a ton of people like that. So it's like, you know what I mean? You can't say, oh, well, if these people, would have helped him out or did this, it's like, hey, man, you can only do but so much,
Yeah. What X did, it was a miracle that he was able to have a rap career and release 5 songs. A miracle that he was able to do that with the things that he went through in his early childhood, teenage stuff. Yeah, it was a miracle.
Absolutely, man. I agree 100%. Like, and that's why I believe, you know what I'm saying? You can say what you want, man, but, sometimes I think, you don't have to believe in a higher power, but you get put in certain situations and it's on you to kind of, take advantage of those situations when they come. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he shouldn't have been a rapper, but he had talent. He believed in himself. He got put in the right situation and it took him. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you're supposed to do it, man. You act on the opportunities you get. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't always make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like, that, he got a better run than a lot of people in life. You know what I'm saying? So
most definitely, a lot of people didn't even make it.
Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of them can say, hey, they lived a full life. You know, you say, oh, he's gone so soon, man. He did a lot, man. He did a lot.
He did a lot for the short time that he made the impact. And
man. You know,
between hip hop, movies, and all the appearances he had, dude, he did a lot, man.
DMX's first 3 albums were the first 3 albums to debut at number 1.
Yep.
Number 1 in a 2-year span.
Oh, and those first 3 albums came out like back to back to back. You know?
Yeah, 98, 99.
Just back to back. And I'm talking about good albums. He didn't start losing steam until like album 5 or 6. Like, you know what I'm saying? Was
Grand Champ.
Grand Champ was me and Reem was talking about like Grand Champ was just mediocre.
It's a mediocre album.
like I thought Great Depression was average, but I listened to Grand Champ.
Still had
Great Depression. It made Great Depression look real good.
After that third album, I sat down.
Yeah. So
listen to the more appreciation I got for the album, because that was more DMX, really more storytelling, more realness. Because you listen to that album compared to Flesh My Flesh, blah blah blah. Because look, when I just had a marathon, listen to all X album,
right?
And when I listened to Flesh My Flesh, blah blah blah, like, this is a majority Swiss Beats production album. Yeah, and Swiss was inconsistent on that album in terms of the beats, because his hardest songs was the 9 hits.
That was those were transitioning from Dame Grease to
Dame Grease and PK to
they talked about
Dame Grease held down that first dark.
Dame Grease was the man on that album. Him and PK.
Album. And you know, for sake of a couple of tracks that might have been from Swizz or PK, but you know what I'm saying, or I think it was Grease and PK that did that first album. That first album was
Swizz only did 1 song for that one. That was on.
That album, that was a Rough Riders anthem, right?
Yeah, that was the only song.
That album was hands down. Like at that time, I was trying to hate. I couldn't hate, man. That album was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no way I could hate. You know what I'm saying? What
album you talking about, Remo?
I can only hate because I live in the Bay Area, so we have our own, you know, music. Like I didn't have to listen to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like so you could kind of get snobbish. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was really into the hip hop, so I looked at a lot of that stuff as peers because we were doing our own music stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh man, them dudes ain't whatever. But when that album came out, and it had followed up after coming off of All Eyes on Me and
Life After Death.
And Life After Death, and people were like, "Oh, he's trying to be like Tupac because he used to wear the."
Hell no! You can tell. You can listen to his style.
It wasn't the same, dog. No, that was the mind state of the people at the time. They were like, "Oh, he's trying."
They said that shit because he balled.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean, though. But if you never listened to his music, and at the time you it's crazy to say, but at that time you could not hear somebody's album. Like you didn't have to hear it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't be everywhere like it is now. Like you had to have somebody who actually went and bought the CD. Like they weren't playing DMX on the radio. There was no internet at the time, so the only way to hear it is if somebody actually had the album. So a lot of people didn't have that album.
I saw DMX based on the first 2 videos, 24 Hours to Live and Money, Power, Respect. Yeah, those were the first two videos I saw X. And from there on, I knew.
And see, I knew about them before because, like I said, I was really into the hip hop. So I heard those demo tapes. Like I heard the stuff from Unsigned Hype. I heard that. Yeah. My boy was a journalist, so he had copies. I heard of him back then. I used to go to we used to have the Gavin convention. I remember, and there was back in New York, they had the New Music Seminar. But we used to get like demo tapes and stuff like that around those times. People would come out. So I heard of him. But he was like a myth. Like he disappeared and you didn't hear him.
He kept on.
Yeah.
See, like the hip hop fans came back to him when he was on Mike Geronimo's first album.
Exactly.
That was his album debut. That was the first time he made a guest appearance on the album.
Exactly. So when we heard that, we were like, oh, okay. You know, as a hip hop head, I took notice. But when I saw the video for Get At Me Dog, and I heard the beat, I was like, dude, oh,
Oh,
That
shit.
shit's
The
sick.
video,
You know what I'm saying?
Video, yeah.
Like that took you back to the old school, and it brought you forward. Just the way the song was structured, it was just like, oh, and this fool was killing it. I was like, I can't hate on this dude. This fool is killing it.
And
So
the funny thing,
2 months. It took me 2 months. I hated on that album the first 2 months it was out, and then after that, I couldn't hate.
The thing about Get At Me Dog was that he refused to compromise that song. They wanted him to censor it, and he's like, "No, I'm not changing the lyrics. I'm keeping it as is."
I'm glad he didn't, because that album, man, just thinking about how gritty that song was, and then go from that to how it's going down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was gritty too. But
I even love when he used the Freddie sample. 1, 2, X is coming for you.
Exactly.
And then he just made that shit.
That was crazy. That whole album was epic.
Man, that album was hard.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, first time I saw that video, I was doing homework. I was sitting there watching Rap City.
Yep.
And I knew X. I didn't realize DMX was on 24 Hours to Live, because I just never paid attention, because he was so, at that particular time, he was so new. I just,
exactly.
I never paid no attention. And so when I heard Joe Clair introducing, barking and shit, I said, "Oh, this dude could take on, man." Because Joe Clair, if he did not like you, he would not. It almost comes
real crazy.
Yep. And so when I saw that video the first time, man, I was just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
this is hip hop at its finest.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you get that grit, that New York grit, and then you have a little bit of, like you said, Sean, a little bit of that new stuff, man. And then you just gotta want it, man. That album is one of my favorite albums.
Like DMX was so different from what we had from the beginning all the way up to his debut. He was completely different. You know, his rap style, his gruff voice, the barking, the what, and all that stuff.
What? He was the first one to introduce that.
I like what Super Flash said, because there was a whole saying when he came in, you got to DMX the game. Because when he came in, he changed the whole rap game from being pretty to being street gutter.
He was the first successful street rapper to be mainstream.
Yeah, but he changed the whole. He turned the whole industry upside down to whereas it was cool to be dirty, like as far as like the music sound, like it didn't have to be, synthesized out and pretty. Like it took it back to the essence. You know what I'm saying? And of just having fire lyrics. Like if you listen to DMX, dog. Like if you listen to that album and what he was saying and the pain and the aggression in his lyrics, and he wasn't even battle rapping per se. He sounds how the battle rappers structure their battles now. You know what I'm saying? And all these leads how he raps. His acapellas, when he would kick acapella freestyles, just doing his thing is how the whole structure of battle rap is nowadays.
Don't forget, man, when he was on 4321 with Cannabis.
Dude, I told you how dope he was. He held his own with LL Cool J, Cannabis, like Method Man, all these people.
He was on Def Jam, right?
That was his first big song that he was a part of in terms of video. That was when he was on that. Like, whoa, man!
And his lyrics are the most. Out of all of the
most unique,
they were the most remembered ones. Ski Mask Boy, baby. Like everybody remembers that. If you don't remember nothing else in that song, you remember him saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like X was on another level, man. And like I say, you don't appreciate it until he's gone, because then you go back and listen. You take it for granted. You're like, oh man, whatever. He's dope, whatever. I'll see him next year when he comes around, or when he goes back on tour. I'll see him. You gotta give people their flowers.
I remember when I first listened to "It's Dark and Hell Is High." I brought the cassette tape.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to it that night, like when I was going to bed, and I'm like, "Yo, this is some scary shit he's saying." Like, this was like a mixture of that infamous, dark, gritty, infamous, and yet the horrorcore hip hop that was born in the 90s,
like Mobb Deep and Gravediggers had to put it out.
Like they came together
because that's what he was.
DMX.
When he was back in the day, he was a horrorcore rapper.
Yeah, he pretty much.
So that's his whole angle. That was why when he came out, I was like, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to be like, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going for it. You know what I'm saying? But then I listened to his album, and I'm like, that's not what he's doing. Like, this ain't Gravediggers. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't. I looked at Gravediggers was like if I'm gonna judge some horrorcore, that was what it was gonna be. And then when I listened to the album, I'm like, because that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't have to hear the album. Like, if no one you knew had the album, you weren't gonna hear it. But then I started hearing like different girls I knew were playing the album, and I'm like, this shit is hot. And then I went and listened to it myself. I'm like, this is some street shit. Like, he talking about robbing fools. He's talking about,
he had great storytelling. Like, ATF was a great
song. Love the ATF song.
Storytelling.
Awesome storytelling.
Hard.
Dude. Yeah. And let's not look. So okay, I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit because I think it's important because he did those albums so fast that was in one calendar year. I want to say like a year and a half.
Yeah, the first two albums.
So, and then he got straight into movies.
Yeah,
Belly. Bro, he did Belly the same year those two albums came out.
So perfect example when he did Flesh of My Flesh, right? The songs to me the best on there are the ones Swizz did. I'll say. Like the one with Mary J. Blige, right?
Yep.
That was a great song.
So then from that, he went to Belly. The songs he did on the Belly soundtrack, those were fucking phenomenal, right?
Yes.
And then he did like what was it? Was it Exit Wounds or did he do
Romeo Must Die?
Romeo Must Die.
That was
those soundtracks made up for the albums he didn't release.
Yeah.
In that period of time, because those were all like Rough Rider albums, basically.
Bro, I was disappointed. Ain't no sunshine. I was disappointed that song was on IG because I really wanted to use that for our Exit Wounds live stream. Yo, that song was so deep. I'm disappointed it's not on his greatest hit collection.
Yeah, sorry.
God Tank, what up, man?
Mm-hmm.
Tank, nah, for real, man. That album though, man. Like. Flesh of My Flesh was another one I was still hating. At the time.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Even though I knew it was dope, I was like, one-hit wonder. Man,
this man.
Hard. There was no singles really from that album. I was like one or two.
Just two.
Slipping and Ain't No Love for Me.
Ain't No Love.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget No Love for Me was a single because
exactly.
I didn't even see the video until late mid-99.
Yeah.
But you know what? This guy, X, was able to get a man who did not like hip hop and Marilyn Manson, to be on the track.
Yeah,
that was a dark ass song. That's the Omen. like the beat is creepy. I love his Omen songs. You know, with him versus Damien.
Yeah,
it's like the contrast. You know, his prayer songs and Talk with God, and then you got the song with the devil. And I just thought that those were just great songs that had purpose and had meaning. Like on Great Depression, I liked it when Damien came back like, yo, what's up? I wasn't on your last album. You didn't shout me out. He kept that story going.
It was like Jane with EPMD. How they had on every album, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he skipped and everybody's like, yo, where's Damien at? You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden he comes back, you're like, oh, he brought Damien back. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know you got us. You know what I'm saying? Because we looking for it, and then you throw a curveball, and then you can always bring them back, and then it's going to reel us right back in. Man.
Brother Al, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Dusty.
There he is.
We are knee deep in the DMX conversation, and we talked a little bit about Black Rob earlier, him passing away today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, it's very unfortunate, man. I didn't know he was as sick as he was.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, man. I didn't know for sure. I just found out he was sick on like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. It was Friday, right after X passed. He put a video out talking about X, and he explained that he was going through struggles in the hospital. Man. And that's why when I saw people talking about that on Twitter, like, oh man, and I prayed for Black Rob, man. I already messaged my boy a couple of days ago, man. Like, pray for Black Rob, man. He's going through some hard struggle.
Yeah.
So, like, man,
that's definitely one of my Black Rob's album is probably like mine.
It's a platinum song.
It's like my number 2 Bad Boy album for sure. Like,
yeah, I'll agree with that one. Yeah. In terms of a Bad Boy record, because it's better than the Lox and Mace album.
Yeah,
better than the Lox and Mace album.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And G-Dep album was killed by Puffy. So
that album was a good album too, but sonically, Black Rob's album was
better.
It's the best.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Better same producers, better beats. You know what I'm saying? Everybody made better beats on Black Rob's album, I believe.
Yeah, Black Rob, he came in, the build up. I remember I brought I think it was Black Rob versus Fabulous mixtape. And this was when Fabulous was rising.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, and I was enjoying Black Rob stuff. Fabulous had a different style and flow. You could tell that he was aiming more for mainstream.
Yeah.
Even though he had some sick freestyles.
That was a little Fabulous Sport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with DJ Clue.
Yeah, on the Cluminati mixtapes and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was
he did a lot of DJ Clue mixtapes.
But Black Rob, I remember the hype for that album, especially when Whoa came out. Like everybody was saying Whoa, like Whoa. It was just a phenomenon that caught fire.
Hey, if you watch basketball games, they'll play just a little piece of it when they're.
Every basketball game.
When the point guard is bringing the ball up, it's like.
And somebody asked the question last week, like, do this man don't get any royalties?
Probably not, man. I don't even like playing the royalty game when it comes to Bad Boy artists because you already know.
Because that's why I said he don't even own none of his music. Anything off for that first album. Nothing.
Yeah, none of that.
It's terrible. Oh man,
I remember that when Bad's album came out. For sure. I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember my brother bought that, man. We played that tape out.
But another question arose on Instagram. I don't think I shared this with anyone, but it was a post saying, and everybody just really went one. It was one-sided. Who did more for New York hip hop in the late '90s, DMX or Jay-Z? DMX. Jay-Z brought mainstream appeal, and this is why I was saying that Jay-Z, each album that he did, he kept getting more poppy and poppy and poppy.
Yeah.
So they were going in different directions. See,
DMX had that. He brought that style and roughness that gravitate worldwide. Jay-Z was trying to gravitate towards one audience.
He was trying to get the Puffy. Trying to get the Puffy. And that's evidenced by In My Lifetime Volume 2 album. He tried to do the whole let me hire the hitman and let me get that bad boy sound. But see, if he would have stuck to the script, no pun intended, he would have been able to do what DMX did. But he was, because DMX made it cool to be gutter. You know what I'm saying? He could be Brooklyn and not have to be apologetic about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if DMX could come and do that, then Jay-Z. Because remember, they all came together, man. It was all three of them.
DMX, Jay-Z, Ja Rule. Those three guys. All three of them got success at the same exact time. Ja Rule, right after DMX got big, Ja Rule came right along.
There you go. And the funny thing is, it was a three. Remember, they were supposed to do that 3 the hard way on the XXL magazine. They had the chain, the bat, and the Remember that? You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, but because you got to remember, you got that was big because the West Coast was out of it. You know, at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Late 90s. The West Coast was dead.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody was doing anything. Snoop was on the run from Suge. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all.
He went to No Limit.
Yeah. So at that time, when DMX came out, he did everything. He did the Bad Boy sound. He did the Dre sound, and he came back with his own. They changed the whole soundscape. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what carried for what, man? Shit, till 2000 and what, like when the South took over. When did the South take over? Like 2004?
No, 2002. I said 2001 was the rise.
When did Laffy Taffy
2001 was the rise.
When did Laffy Taffy
I can't even remember when that song tracked.
We didn't even acknowledge that, man.
I said 2001 and 2002.
You gotta acknowledge it because that was what that carried it in.
Hey, Remo.
No,
Southern hip hop did apex when T.I. took off.
Okay, you're gonna go from trap music and then
that's when all what we got now started when that hit.
So now I'll say that was 2003.
Pretty much. I would say pretty much around that time.
2003.
That's about.
I know Matt don't want to hear it, but I'm gonna tell you, Laffy Taffy. I was embarrassed to hear that shit on the radio because I was working at the job with two white guys in the dock area, and that shit came on, and they looking at me like I like that shit. I'm like, I don't like that shit. I want to turn that shit off. That shit was bullshit, man.
No, you did. You was over there jamming to it, dog. You was
right? He was over there like.
Hell no.
He was over there. He was over there.
Hey, that started my hiatus from hip hop. When I came down here and they started playing more bullshit, and this was when crunk was hot. Like Lil Jon and the East Side. 2003, 2004. That's when they got big.
Yeah. See, but see, that was the thing though. After DMX, remember we said after he went to the movies in 99, 2000, that left the gap wide enough for Jay-Z to push his way in.
Jay-Z is the Triple H of hip hop, man.
Yeah. On September 11, 2000.
Jay-Z or Triple H fell to Rock and Austin. Jay-Z fell over for Biggie and DMX. Let's be real.
No, but what I'm saying is by him stepping away allowed it allowed Jay-Z to get in there for the Blueprint. Because like we said, the album prior to that, he did the Bad Boy sound. Then he came out with Hard Knock Life. Remember?
What album came out after Blueprint, man?
No. Before we got to go before because that's when he started that window when DMX stepped away was when Jay-Z stepped in because he even used Swizz. Like he went in there and he did Money Cash Hoes and all that. Remember? Yeah. And then he did. Then the album after that he did Big Pimpin'. Remember? Then he did the Blueprint.
And you know what? I hated Big Pimpin' when that. Like
that was his run. That started his run.
I did not like Volume 3 when it first came out. Like you told my one to hate on DMX. I hated Volume 3.
I love that one.
That was
man. I could not stand that song.
You talking about? Volume 3 was with Hard Knock Life.
Life and Times of Sean Carter.
No, Volume 2 was Hard Knock Life. Volume 3 was with Big Pimpin'. Was with Volume 2 was Hard Knock Life.
Oh man, that was mine with the Snoopy song.
Oh my God, that's just suck, man.
You crazy.
Hey, as a New Yorker, that's not shit I want to hear. And I didn't like Juvenile to begin with that hot shit. No.
Yeah.
No.
You crazy.
I'll take being crazy for hating on that album because I did not like that album.
They had Up in the Club. That
was a garbage album, man. That album was God.
The best songs on that album was a DJ Premier song, So Ghetto, and the NYMP. NYMP, those are two songs that I played the most. But
they were too short. They were too short.
I also liked the
he has another one with the 2 short
Dope Man song.
Yeah, the Dope Man.
Yeah, because he was going through. He was talking about the stabbing of
Yeah, when he stabbed.
The worst thing Jay-Z did to that album was put anything on Beanie Siegel album. I remember when I first heard that song.
That was the thing that brought Beanie Siegel in. That brought Beanie Siegel in.
Well, I liked the Beanie Siegel's album enough that it didn't need anything on there to sell it.
It didn't need anything. Yeah.
No. When you go back and listen to Beanie Siegel, man, I wish I really feel like if he didn't get shot, man, recently, like he would have been able to come back, but he can't do it now because he only got like one lung or something like that. So,
yeah.
But Benny Siegel, man, he was a beast back then.
Yeah, man.
And you remember the Locks?
Oh yes, the Locks Benny Siegel beef.
Yeah, Beanie.
Jada and Beanie, man.
Yes, I had those.
All the talk was Nas and Jay-Z in 2001, but Beanie and Jada was the most competitive beef battle of all. I mean, from song to song, they was just killing it.
Yeah. Man, Beanie at that time, I think was, to me, like, man, I ain't gonna say.
And you know what? I'll say this. I was a Jay, supporter, and because he's Brooklyn, I'm Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Beanie Siegel was far superior to Memphis.
I was just gonna say that. I didn't want to say it out loud, be blasphemous.
Memphis weak. We call him
Memphis Cheeks.
Hey, he needed that. He needed Beanie Siegel there for him to get where he is today. Because had he not had that dude back there in the wings and getting his own success, that shit wouldn't have pushed him to be better than he was.
Yep.
Because Beanie was a pit bull.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that fool was on it.
Like I tried to support Bleak, but I'm like, bro, your shit weak, man. It rhymes, man.
Hey, Bleak was the dude.
I got that name from a girl in school. He was talking about Rockefeller Rough Riders, and I'm listening to Memphis Bleak, and she came out of nowhere and said, "Memphis weak." We also busting out laughing, like,
bro. Not like the whole Jay-Z Nas kind of started with Bleak because he was the one that was low-key dissing Nas, and then Jay-Z got involved later.
Hey, man. Memphis Bleak. I'm going to use another analogy. Memphis Bleak was the Bear Horowitz of Rock Nation.
Instigator, huh?
Very Horowitz. Jobber. But Jay...
He was a joke, man. What you say, Dan? he was a joke.
He was loyal to James.
Memphis Bleak had a boy.
Y'all know who Dan is from Street Fighter, the one that they stole from King of Fighters, the one that can't fight. Yeah. If ever you hear me tell somebody that they Dan, that means they are a joke.
A laughing joke, man. No disrespect to Memphis Bleak, man. He's better than 99% of these rappers out today in terms of the radio.
Oh yeah. Now you can go find the SARS rapper from back in the day, man, and put them up against somebody. Hey, man, you could go get Sadat X, and he'd be multi-platinum.
Sadat X is fucking great though.
And this right here, he would be the equivalent of Jay-Z in this time.
Sadat X still be putting music out. He got music.
Yes, he did. He dropped.
I ain't saying it bad. I'm just saying you could take somebody who was like. When we talk about,
I got what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You can like go pull a Mick Carter out that era, throw them in this era, and then 10 times better than whatever out now.
Man, he's all time great.
Wild Cowboys still get played,
right? Yeah, that's Wild Cowboys is the ish, boy.
That's the song that made me like Sadat X right there, man. I mean, I like the rap.
And I liked him with Brand Nubian. I always thought he had a unique lyrical style to his flows. Yeah. Like he wasn't structured. Yeah. And his style, I always he had a different style, and Kool Keith had a wild style himself with his lyricism.
Yeah, Kool Keith was definitely a special MC, man.
Mm-hmm.
He still is, but man, damn, that dude.
No, wait,
Informer.
Yeah.
Informer.
That's the only thing I remember. I shake your boom boom down. That's it. That was.
Oh man. Yeah, I still say that 2001 is probably the last best year in terms of hip hop, mainstream and underground. But 2002 beyond, it's just been all underground. I mean, good Lord. But look, y'all said the rise. I still say that the rise of the South started with Master P and the No Limit and Juvenile and the Hot Boys. Those are the first two big groups. And you also had Outkast, but Outkast really didn't get big until Stank On.
Outkast was big, but they were still
still mid-tier, but the Stank On You album just put them over the top. That Miss Jackson song blew them up big time.
Nah, man, you gotta go back, man. 96. When they did Elevators, that put them on the.
It put them on the hip hop scene. Yeah, it put them on the hip hop scene in terms of them getting recognition. But the Stank On You album put them in the mainstream stratosphere. That album.
Outkast's best album is ATLiens. I'm sorry.
That's their best album. That's
by far. That is their best album. Like
when it comes to Outkast, I fucks with their first 3 albums.
Yeah, their first 3 albums, they best.
And then from Stankonia on, I only fucks with a few songs. And that's why.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Stankonia was good.
It's a good album. I listen to that a lot of times when I first started.
I listen to every last one of them, even down to the Love Below. That's the Love Below is probably one of my favorite Outkast albums.
Yeah.
Now my least favorite Outkast album is Aquemini.
Oh, so you ain't like that album that much?
But that got Spodioti Dopalicious on it though.
Yeah. The Saving Grace song. But it was in terms of how I gave. That's my song right there.
I know, that's why I don't understand.
Raekwon? I thought you were gonna say the Art of Storyteller. That was actually one.
No, bro. That's skewed on the Barbie one of them songs that if you really like to go fight people, that what should be playing on the iPod. Man, so come on hard, man. It's a rock.
Yeah, them Outkast albums started going out there, man. About that 3rd, 4th album, man. About that 4th album, they started going
tapped out.
Now, I also
on mainstream, man.
Now I also say this now people they scoff at the Love Below, but I'm gonna tell you, I understood where they were trying to go with that album because it was an experimental album. Because one thing about them that a lot of hip hop artists at that time couldn't grasp, well, Jay-Z did and a couple others, is that they had to figure out how to reinvent themselves and keep themselves relevant during that time. Now we already knew going into what was the 3rd album? Third Outkast album after ATLiens. When this thing on here?
No, that was Aquarium.
Aquemini. Okay. Going in that album, you could already tell that they were trying different things as far as like different, especially with Andre 3000. You know, the eclectic sounds and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciated Love Below because of the simple fact that they attempted to do something that was different. Now, if I had a choice to choose between the 2 albums, I had to go with Speaker Box. The Speaker Box to me was, I'm telling you, man.
I know. I respect it.
Yeah,
Speaker Box was a dope.
They both are good.
I just think that the visuals were different for Andre 3000. If you listen to that album and you can take out the Hey Ya video out of your head,
that's the worst song on the album.
If you can take the visuals of that video out of your head, that album is clearly a superior.
Yeah, I think it's better than the Love Below.
Because it's like a Prince album to me. Like
that's why I said what I said. I fucks with their 3 albums, but the others I can take or go with them. There's some good tracks on them. I'm not gonna say that they're bad albums.
They're not bad albums.
They're good albums. They definitely have some great songs. But compared to the first 3, I connect with the first 3 a lot more than the last 3.
Yeah. You know what it is, Sean? What it is that the songs they've got they're all spread out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could probably take about 4 songs from each of the following albums and put them on one album, and then you have a world-class album.
Yeah.
And I didn't let Hey Ya affect me because I'm one of the few people that I actually like the song because
Hey, you like the song because it got played on the radio 4,000 times a day, man.
But what I mean by that as the visual is how he was on his Prince shit. So the way he looked, the way he looked on that album made people kind of.
Yeah,
That's why when
I understand
that is because they look at the visual and they can't get how he looked.
Remo, the song was fine. I just could not stand the radio shoving it down my throat so many times to the point where I got sick of it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Like when I first heard the song, I thought it was a good song, but they kept playing it and playing it and playing it.
Well, see that's what you call beating a dead horse because once they figured out the song was a commercial success, it was a rap.
Yeah,
because that's what's always gonna happen regardless. I mean, you look at any other song. Like for a minute, I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of the few people that likes that one hit wonder Skee-Lo song. I wish, but at one point in time, you would hear that on the radio, like they would be playing it in car commercials and donut commercials and all that kind of stuff. So.
Okay, well I'll take you one step further. You can say the same thing about I Like the Way You Move from Speaker Box. It's on a Panda Express commercial.
Right, but this is what I'm saying though.
They both were shoved down your throat.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying though, personally, as a music listener, I didn't let that one song affect how I felt about the album because I knew that the Love Below was experimental. And I'm not saying that I do not like the Love Below.
Right.
I just happen to like Speaker Box because he had songs on there like Rooster and Bow Tie and all that kind of stuff. Them shits was funky, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But like you said, I understood. I feel like when you listen to Speaker Box, The Love Below, Speaker Box could have been done at any time.
Yeah.
By one or both of them.
I agree
now,
with that.
Love Below, that you had to be in your shit to get on that album. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you had to crawl into your box and make some shit. Like it was like I don't think he can remake the Love Below nowadays.
Well, see, the thing of it is between them. I mean, Andre 3000 has typically been the most creative and eclectic out of the two. So for him to do something like that would have been more receptive. Now, Big Boy start coming out with wigs and stuff like that. I'd be like,
well, see, that's the thing. I don't want the visual to play a part. I'm saying
no. What I'm saying, I'm not letting the visuals because I'm familiar with how Andre and Big Boy they were different. But what I'm saying is that had Big Boy came out, it would be more or less like he just trying to mimic Andre 3000 to try to appease an audience, right? But they didn't have to do that.
Let's flip the script a tad bit. Staying on that track, the Speaker Box and Love Below album, right? Let's say another group did it. Let's say UGK did that album. Okay, and Speaker Box was done by Bun B, and the Love Below was done by Pimp C.
It would have been a completely different album if it was
Pimp C. That's what I'm trying to say. It would have been different. It would have been the same thing because that was the dynamic of the group. Pimp C was the musician.
But my problem was that both of those songs, like Big Boy's solo song, hit song,
but what I'm saying is,
hey y'all, to me, they wore out their welcome as the singles, and as much as I liked some of the songs off those albums, and I liked the Big Boys more, I liked it what 3000 attempted, but it just wasn't what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I got you.
It just I wanted to hear true Outkast music.
Yeah, you wanted to hear another one of the typical, like how they get down, how they get funky, and
if Andre wanted to go his own way and do a solo album, that's fine. But as an Outkast album being a double album, for that to be a double album, to do two solo albums as one package,
pretty much,
I feel like I'm paying more money, and I'm not
if I'm not mistaken, that was a expensive album when it came out.
Yeah, it was. I loved it though, man. I was loving that album.
Hey, is those two albums better than Jay-Z Blueprint 2?
Oh yeah. Blueprint 2 was a disaster.
Speaker Box was better than Blueprint 2.
Oh, look,
so Blueprint 2, the first disc was it was like The second disc was fire. Like if it was that one album, or if it's the second disc alone, then I'd say, all right, that is not as good as the first Blueprint, but it's a great album. Great
It
fall.
told you a lot when he did the 2.1 because that should have been with 2.
That's what it should have been. It should have been that.
Yeah. It should have been just one disc instead of doing two.
And I'll say Nas messed up when he did.
Yeah, he did 2 discs. Oh yeah, that was complete.
That was
mediocre.
terrible.
That was disappointing.
And he was at the height of his worst picking the beats. Like, yeah, that was a terrible album.
I can follow that. You know what real album? But Street Disciple was a disappointing album. I mean,
you know what, Remo? That
entirely, I was like, man, come on now.
That album started Nas distancing himself from guys like Large Pro and Premier, and started picking beats that make you like, yo, Nas, what's up with this? Why is your beats mediocre? Like you got a couple of good tracks, and then the rest of the album is weak. Dude, that's how I felt about Hip Hop Is Dead. Hip Hop Is Dead started out good, but then it just got weak.
When he did Nostradamus, I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, that's the one Nas album I refused to buy.
And then God said, I was like, oh, God.
Hey, Remo, that was that Puff Daddy sound.
Oh, my God. I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And then the Streets Disciple, I was trying to give him a shot because I heard he had some tracks on there with Large Professor. I'm like, dude, what'd you do to Large Professor?
Got him up.
You own that gun.
I refuse to acknowledge that was
that was a clone. Like, it was terrible. That's
Nas was trying to save some money. That's what that was.
Oh my God!
No, he did a good job saving money, getting better producers.
Yeah, just like No Upset, man. Every album after Stillmatic was disappointing.
Yeah, even hip hop. Yeah, like Hip Hop Is Dead started out good, fell flat. The Untitled album.
I can't even remember a song
now. I like it's one good song and followed by 2 mediocre songs. Like, hey, come on.
Life Is Good was like the one song I liked that was ruined by Rick Ross and his mediocre rap.
Oh yeah, Rick Ross.
Subpar mediocre, if you can call that.
Hey, Lost Tapes was a mix of all his stuff that he did between It Was Written and I Am. And that was better than any of Nas, all his albums.
Lost Tapes should have been Nostradamus.
Hey.
Yeah, it should have been. Because that's all that stuff was released before in between It Was Written and I Am. And
Lost Tape should have been that mixtape he did with Jay Grand. Was it Jay Grand? It was a mixtape on the streets. It was like Jay, what was his name? And he would do all the tapes.
So he had that one mixtape that released in like 99, 2000.
Yeah, and he did one with one with Kool G Rap. He did one with.
Remember, Sean, you had the Holla Back song. Cause that original Holla Back song, he was on it. That was his little verse on it. That's on the album. Yeah. They ain't had Nas on them. They had them other 2 guys along with AZ.
And I always was disappointed when I heard songs Nas did on mixtapes.
Yeah,
like remember he did the song with 50 Cent.
Oh yeah.
Project Too Hot.
Project Too Hot. Yeah. He had a couple of songs on mixtape that never made albums, and those were better than what he was putting on the album.
Or the song he had with Nori the ones that didn't go on to the album.
Yeah, he did a couple of sonds with Nori.
Yeah, he did the ones with Nature. He had a bunch of songs with Nature and Nori. Then he had the one with what was that? Who was that? It was around that time. I'm trying to think who. Oh, the ones he had with Cormega.
Like the whole Cormega beat started because of all that.
Man, all that free Trackmaster shit.
Yeah. He said that they recorded 7 songs together in '96, and only one song was the Affirmative Action that Cormega appeared on his album. We're like, come on, man.
All those songs that got him the deal on Def Jam.
Yep.
And I'll say this. Mega
is better.
Because of consistency. Mega ain't never dropped a weak album.
No.
It's the same. I always go back to when you talk about longevity. I always praise Master Ace because I never heard a garbage album from Master Ace. Every album he put out was quality. It had some great storytelling, and he always upped his game for his stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, why can't guys do like Master Ace and continue to provide quality albums? Why you gotta choose weak beats?
That's how I thought about KRS-One. Canvas went in the late 90s and 2000s. Just like, dude, those albums is dead borderline trash. Like, lyrically, Canvas one is great, but the beats, like,
I told y'all,
barely listenable, man.
I told y'all last time we talked.
Yeah.
I said a lot of you guys had bad production.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cannibals. Exhibit A.
Wycliffe killed his career, man. How can you do that?
Wycliffe killed his own career.
Yeah.
Because there ain't nobody coming in to produce no album after that.
No hip hop.
Good.
Wycliffe was so bad that he had to get The Rock to try and save him, man.
Terrible.
I mean, it was garbage, man. You hear that song for Cannibals, and then I go out and buy the album. I'm like, oh shit, this dude here got it made, man. I buy that album. I hear circus music, man.
Yeah.
That's all I could do. Hey, you laughing, man? Ask Tim.
I wanted to come.
Hey, man, what y'all think about that?
Farside legend.
I want to come back to this comment with the Farside, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I did like that Guantanamo song or whatever.
And then what you call it, man? And then you talk about bad. We talk about bad production. We go to the Wu-Tang side. They had a whole lot of bad production.
Yeah, he was good when he got with Santana, yeah.
What about you?
I agree with this comment.
2000 BC was the best overall.
No, Rip the Jacker was.
Oh, you say Rip the Jacker?
Oh, that Stoop production was dope as fuck.
He produced both albums. He did both albums. Yeah.
Well, I thought Rip the Jacker was better than BC for me.
Stoop from Jedi Mind Tricks, right?
Oh, yeah. Jedi Mind Tricks, man. I love Stoop.
Baby Grinder. Yeah. Those he did. I think he did 3 albums on the Baby Grinder.
Yeah. Like Violent by Design was my first Jedi Mind Tricks I brought, and I listened to that shit. That shit was sick, man. Yeah. And then I hooked up with a friend at my job. He got me a copy of the first album.
Oh god.
That the one with them in the camouflage in the forest or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the insides of the human body being shown on the cover.
Oh, the one you talk about, Remo, is the Violent by Design.
So that one, the first one. Okay, that's the one I remember. Yeah.
They actually first album was the what's the name of it? So it's a long title.
It's a long title. But that album,
that shit was hard.
That production on that first album, you talk about dark and gritty, but what stood out to me the most was what they was talking about. Yeah. They were talking about alien conspiracies, government corruptions, and all that stuff. This is something that you don't really hear in hip hop. Nah. And that I gravitated to that shit because I was like, this is fresh for me. Yeah. You know, and I love the production. I love the lyrics, the alien tongue. That was Apathy's debut.
Yeah, Apathy's debut. That was his debut.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jedi Mind Tricks. I'm glad we brought up Stoop to get into Jedi Mind Tricks.
He's an underrated producer from that during the 2000s, man.
Yeah.
I love this.
Stoop was tight. He's still around though, ain't he? He's still
around. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find him probably on Instagram or something.
You know what group I want to talk about? Who is just on the rise? I mean, after having a hiatus in the
journalists and shit
in the 2000s.
Who's that?
Onyx. They came back on the Snow Goons and just been dropping albums after albums, and they dropping another album this year.
Yeah, they did one last year, I think, or the year before.
Yeah. I think they dropping this is gonna be their 4th or 5th album coming out.
Yeah.
You know, since they came back and they
Onyx still got it.
They still got it. Snow Goons put them back on the map with their production, and these guys are back because they were their first album I thought was good. I still say the second album and Shut Them Down is their 2 best overall, and I'm kind of torn between which one. I like
my favorite Onyx album is All We Got Is Us.
Yeah, All We Got Is Us.
Second album. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Absolutely, man.
So I think they had better features. You had Big Pun on that album. You had DMX, of course, on that. And honestly, DMX go together. I thought they should have done more songs together, man. Honestly,
that album Aguilar just went off on that production. Man. That shit's hard. And I mean, Aguilar. I be chopping it with him here and there. And, you know what I'm saying? He's still around. He does his thing, man. He still be putting out albums. But what was I gonna say? During that time, though, like I was working on music, so like a lot of those dudes, like I was coming into contact with them, and like I said at the time, you don't really you appreciate them, but you don't really appreciate them until they're gone. Like he brought up the Far Side. Like my boy was signed to the same record label as them, so we would do shows together. And I remember when they did their second album, and JD did like damn near the whole album. You know what I'm saying? He did, and no one knew who he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at that time, you just knew the shit was tight, but you never really appreciated it until after Dilla's gone. You're like, damn, man, that album.
I the second album got unfairly criticized.
It did, because
it did, absolutely.
I see some of the reviews, and they said I could
because they didn't know who Dilla was. They didn't know his beats. You know what I'm saying? They was waiting for it.
The funny thing is, I like that album better than the Tribe album Dilla did.
Oh, must be.
Beats, Rhymes, and Life?
Yeah. I like the Fireside second album more than that album.
Yeah.
For me, I just felt that.
But the Love Movement was the one, though.
Yeah, the Love Movement was an upgrade from Beats, Rhyme, and Life. But when I listen to Beats, Rhyme, and Life, it's like, at that time, I didn't like it as much as, as I started appreciating it later. I like the second Fireside album more.
I knew when y'all said Tribe Called Quest, I just looked down the screen, wait on air.
Yeah, I was right there, got his hand up. He wants to be.
Hey, I got a story I got to tell that's going to fall in line with what you just said, Sean. Love Tribe Called Quest, man. I love them boys. Every album, when they got the Beats, Rhymes, and Life, I worked at arcade. And
I think you told this story. You gave it away.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, I listened to that CD one time, and I was disgusted. I said, man, this ain't Tribe Called Quest. Some aliens done inhabited their bodies and shit. So I gave that shit away, man. So
the reason why I didn't like it is because it had a whole lot of consequence on it.
Yes, that was another problem with it.
I'm not a huge fan of Consequence at all.
All right, aren't he and Q-Tip cousins or something?
Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah.
So fellas,
there you go.
So what album would you go back in retrospect that you listen to and you go, okay, you know what? I was a little harsh on that album. Because I still like Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
I mean, I was harsh too. I was like Al. I did not like it when I first listened to it, and Remo hit it on the head with so much consequence on it.
I didn't like it when it first came out. I
didn't like
it. Listen to the album again from the back, and then I was like, okay.
I don't think I gained any appreciation for that album. Even listening to multiple times, I still say it's a solid album. That's all.
Which one?
Like Beats Life from.
Beats Rhymes.
Yeah, it's a solid album. That's all.
It has its moments, you know.
Yeah, it's a solid album.
I mean, I like it now.
I don't
back
even
when it came out.
It's not one of the albums of Tribe Called Quest that gets.
No, on play on the regular. I rarely play that album. When I listened, the last time I listened to it was when he passed away. What's his name? That was the last time I listened to Phife Dawg. When he passed away, that's when I did my Tribe marathon. When I listened to the album, I say, it's just a solid album. All
the albums are solid. It's just not. It's not memorable for me.
Yeah. It's
not Midnight Marauders, basically.
They ain't those first two albums. Oh no,
that's their magnum opus, Midnight Marauders. Shit.
And not only that,
I feel that way too, and a lot of people say no, it's Low End Theory, and I don't believe
I love both.
Midnight Marauders.
Now, Midnight Marauders to me is the one that just put it all in perspective.
Man, that's the shit. That whole album.
Another thing, two albums. Like I look at Mobb Deep, The Infamous, and Hell on Earth. The more I listen, when I first listened to Infamous, I was on that Infamous bandwagon. Then the more I kept listening to Hell on Earth, I was like, Hell on Earth. That shit is
two completely different albums. Two
different albums. But I was like, I love Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth got replayability too. Man.
Yeah,
a lot of replayability. A lot.
Like I can't even go as to say which is better because I feel like they're equal.
It's like Al said. Hell on Earth is an album I throw on when I want to be locked in on a certain mood. Like if I want to, have fun, that's the Infamous album. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to lock in, it's gonna be Hell on Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
You know what I'm saying?
But I was gonna touch back on Beach Rhyme and Life. I gotta say that when you listen to that album, it was like they really wanted to distance themselves from the whole Native Tongues movement. Like the Native Tongues had a presence on their first 3 albums, even though Midnight Marauders, De La Soul had a little cameo on it. But then after that, it went to JD, and there was like no Native Tongue feel to that album at all. Like it was just completely different sound, and it just like, the Native Tongue movement was just done. And I always felt that.
I agree. I feel that.
Yeah, I always felt that the Native Tongues, they started together, but then they slowly started distancing themselves from each other. And nothing was more worse than how the Jungle Brothers kind of got pushed out.
Yeah.
And forgotten.
I always felt that way. Like they kind of used them and then kind of dipped out on them.
Yeah. And I felt like De La had longevity, Tribe had longevity, but the Jungle Brothers dropped that great album, and I liked it, their second album, but then that was it. The
second album was cool.
Yeah, but I just hated that they disappeared so quickly, and they put their album out first before De La and Tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just did some. I think they did some. They went on a different. They went different directions, and I don't think it was at that time best for them to be associated in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I think old boy, Baby
Bam, he went on with the deep end, bro.
I was trying to be cool about it. You know what I'm saying? Because people are who they are. But
I don't know, man. Well, he started that stuff, man. It was like he had people side eye him. I mean, you do what you do.
That's what I'm saying.
He went from one extreme to the other, like within 38 seconds, man. Like, whoa.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that wouldn't be conducive for the hip hop of them to be. It'd be like Tribe Called Quest, Rot, and do what you do, like you said. But if they had Lil Nas X rocking with them. Straight off the Devil video, you know what I'm saying? That's what Baby Bam was doing. You know what I mean? He was rocking the Lil Nas X outfit.
I mean, he was trying to start his own little I don't want to say cult, but he was trying to start his own little movement for a minute though.
He was trying. He was trying, and that's why he lost me. And I was just like, "Oh yeah, bro, I can't even rock with you, bro. I can't even rock with you. Not like this. Not like this."
Hey, but back to Matt's question about what album we didn't like that we appreciate now. I can't really think of.
Yeah, I can't. I can't
really. All the albums I did not like. I just stand by. I just don't like it.
There's nothing I was too harsh on because, and if it is, I was too harsh on it. I never went back and listened.
Yeah. Go ahead, Al.
I got one. Wu-Tang second album.
I liked it Forever.
That was a great album.
I hated that album from the beginning.
You talking about the double album?
Wu-Tang Forever, yeah.
Wu-Tang Forever. I love that album.
Man, I'm telling you, the first album was like, I love it.
I listened to that album. The third album, I listened to that album again.
Hell no.
Go back and listen to it. And that album, I don't know what.
Like I said, I stand by it. That was a terrible album.
That's a trash album.
Yeah, I didn't like Gravel Pit when I first saw it, so I was like, no.
Oh my god!
It don't have a standout song. Not one standout
His
song.
His fourth album was way better than the third album.
Better.
It ain't been a good Wu-Tang album in 20 years. If you talking to a Wu-Tang aficionado, let me tell you, man, on that second album, Visions, Hell's Windstaff, MGM,
Dog shit.
Yep.
Dog shit.
And then It ain't about 6 or 7 songs that's good on the album, and that's the truth. Remember I told you, I said that was the problem. They came out with this double. They wanted to do a double album. They started sucking with production. I alluded to it earlier. You kill an army, all this bullshit come out.
Well, see, this is the thing. This is what I think happened was RZA, being the control freak that he is, he thought about all the money he was giving up in sample clearances, and he got this grand idea that I'm going to play all my instruments myself, but oh shit, I'm not a musician. You know what I'm saying? That shit could only take you so
It showed in that third album. That third album was
that W man, that
that was a garbage album.
that shit was terrible. All that shit was terrible. And then you got Matt.
You know what the sad part is?
But then you had True Master and all them producing Killer Army and all that stuff, and them getting the real beats that Wu-Tang should be getting.
But they didn't bring the real lyrics with them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gave the B team the A team's beats.
Yeah, you pretty much. You look at Killer Army album, production wise, great.
All of those albums were good.
Yeah, production wise,
but not lyrically, they were terrible. They were terrible lyrically.
I mean, garbage.
And they was like, oh, we can't. And RZA was probably like, I'm not producing it, so I'm not gonna put it on the album. And
but you know what the worst though? The production on Ghost Dog soundtrack is better than the W. The
about the Wu-Tang albums over there.
The Ghost Dogs soundtrack was far superior than the W soundtrack. Like, he put more effort.
But that was even garbage.
It's still better than
the Ghost Dog, man. I tried to do Ghost Dog so many times. Oh my god!
He had the 2 songs he did with the Killer Bees. I forgot those guys' names. But those songs was far superior than any song that he did on the W album. That W album was so trash.
That W album was a
I'll say this.
It's trash.
The first album's a classic. I like Wu Forever and I like Iron Flag. Everything else from Wu-Tang was trash.
Hey man, I was talking with my homeboy the other day, Sean, and we got the joking, man, and he brought up that second Method Man album. And I was like, oh man, you talking about I'm
still harsh on that album because I can't find no songs on that album that's played. I download the remaster of that album.
Every Method Man album was garbage except for the first.
Yeah.
Except for the first one, and
he
didn't get no kind of play until he got with Redman.
Method Man, Redman album.
He lost me until he hooked up with Redman. And Eric Sermon took him into his, nestled him into his bosom and took care of him. Because RZA was for sure leaving him out to dry.
Yeah, bro. It's like the RZA lost his mind.
He did.
And I was like, what all this bad production? And then, when Ghostface came out on that, that was, Supreme Clientele was good.
Yes,
and when that second album dropped, that's when Wu-Tang was having that bad production. And so I was scared to pick the album up.
So even
Supreme Clientele was the second album.
Yeah, that's the second.
Supreme Clientele was Ghostface.
No, Iron Man was what you call it? Iron Man was
his first album. Supreme Clientele.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying Supreme Clientele was Ghostface trying to throw RZA a bone by basically getting beats from everybody else and let him arrange them.
Yep.
So you would get a beat.
Look, most of those the production on that album, RZA ain't took full credit on.
No, he couldn't because it wasn't his beats.
It wasn't all his beats.
He just sequenced them. You know what I'm saying? Like they just sent him the beats and he took and even then it was just kind of like, bro, really? You know what I'm saying? Like your happy accidents are dope, bro, but not right now. I'm trying to get this money.
And you look at it, Ghostface is the only Wu member to drop consistent great albums. Yep. The only one.
Because he took it all under, like he didn't.
RZA never had full control. Outside that first album, RZA never had full control of Ghostface music.
Ever.
Look at Capitano's first album.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of that album was another trash album.
Yeah.
Hey man, I went to a fork in the road and kept straight.
Right?
That album, Capitano. Capitano is a lyrical beast. And like, why is he beast trash?
Capitano got fame off of that one verse.
Off Ice Cream.
No, not
Ice Cream. Winter Wars. That was the greatest word for bar verse that he dropped. Like that verse is still quotable. He even dropped a video to the song a few years ago. You know, just his verse because people
wasn't that on Sunset Park?
No, it was on the. Don't be a menace. Don't be a menace. And you gotta listen
at the end, right during the credits, right? You didn't leave.
When the credits come on, I'm listening to the whole credits, man. That shit was the banger.
Watch all these credits just so I can hear this song.
Yeah.
We was at the movie theater, like not leaving, like
that shit was amazing.
Like they was
but the fact that he his album came out. I mean, the production on that album, that's the one that I hate. I hate when great talent lyrically get ruined by bad production, man.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The fucking Boot Camp Click's first album.
Boot Camp first album. Terrible.
Like, what the fuck? You had 4 of the best albums released with Black Moon, Smith & Wesson, OGC, and Helter Skelter, and then you gonna abandon your production crew and say we want live instrumentation. That shit was garbage, man. I was in Brooklyn and I was down with the Boot Camp Click, and they dropped this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? That was the beginning of their ending until Sean Price saved their ass.
Yeah, Sean Price saved it.
He came in and released 4 albums in a row.
Yeah, and he released
Monkey Ball
2002, right?
With
with them getting the Ninth Wonder pretty much, you can say Ninth Wonder saved them because Ninth Wonder production on all 3 of their albums.
Yeah, because he was being Mr. Walt never came back and really did anything until they tried to hook off the second.
Because look at it. After they abandoned Beatminerz did some work for other people and they were great at it. But for some reason in the 2000s, that Rockets album was pretty good. Yeah. But for some reason in the 2000s, they lost their edge to the point where they wasn't what they were in the late 90s and early 2000s. They didn't have that spark. Now, I'll admit, the Black Moon album from 2 years ago, phenomenal album. Yeah, that was like a return to form.
That was great.
And it was all produced by the Beatminerz. But I can never get over them abandoning the Beatminerz for that first Boot Camp album.
That was a failure.
Never get over. That's why that's the one album. Like I brought it, and like Al said with Beat Mine in Life, I threw that shit in the trash, man.
Yeah,
I was so disgusted with that album.
I had to download that album, listen to it, delete it. I just like, I don't think I'll listen to a single song. And I got the compilation album that got different mixtures of all their songs and solo stuff. That's it. I got now. Well, the second album was far better. But the 2 albums they did after that, I still say they 2 best overall albums.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand when you want to abandon a producing style for a style that does not fit your style, and your audience ain't gonna like it.
Like I said, man, we production just fails great lyrical talent, man. And that's the worst thing that ever happened, man. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, KRS-One, man. His career in the 2000s was just terrible.
I was just laughing at Jay State about how bad them albums were. I was just like, man.
Like, I really tried to give KRS a chance.
You brought
I brought like 2 or 3 of them. And it's like, bro, why can't you get great production? It wasn't until he did the album with Marley Marl, right? Like, all right, that's better than what you've been working with. You know, then he did the Showbiz album and the Bumpy Nuts album. Those were decent.
Yeah. Then he did the album with Buckshot, right?
Huh?
He did the album with Buckshot.
Yeah. Yeah, that album was pretty good. But I'm like, yo, why are you not following Master Ace's method of getting solid producers that give great beats?
You would think most of these guys would have been knocking down the door of Pete Rock or somebody, because Pete Rock was on spot in the 90s.
He still got it.
I will say that Pete Rock did fall off a bit in the mid to late 2000s, where his stuff wasn't as good as it was in the 90s. But I feel like he came back strong in the 2010s.
Yeah.
because all those Pete instrumental albums was all
he used all his beats.
Those were leftover beats from Mecca and the Soul Brother and
and I and all of them.
But you know who was, in my opinion, who was dope back in the late 90s, back in like 98, 99, around that time was Ski. He was a slept-on producer, man.
Ski was a good producer. Man, I always said that when Jay-Z abandoned Clark Kent and Ski.
Yep.
For that Trackmaster Puff Daddy style production, I was like, I can see where Remo disliked it the second album. I still personally like the second album, but it has songs on there that made me like, what the fuck? It had some songs like, what the fuck are you doing, Jay? Stick to the script of what your first album established.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And what he did with Volume 2 was like, yeah, I'm going full-blown Puff Daddy style production.
Hey, if I saw an album and I looked on it and I saw producers and Trackmaster, I put that shit back down, man. Fuck that shit.
Towards the end, I started doing that towards the end too, because I was like, these fools is weird. But okay,
they started out good though. I like some of their early work.
If you go back, a lot of those songs, if you hear them, the ones that we consider to be whack from Trackmaster, is because what they did to them was whack. The people who rap on them or whatever, because a lot of those beats was hard. They just they didn't get them to the right people to do the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z took a whole bunch of throwaways that they probably couldn't have gave to anybody on Bad Boy, and he was just happy to get them. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very much.
Trackmaster.
And you know what? I wasn't big on the Neptunes either.
Oh, I never liked them.
Neptunes had to grow on me, man. They had to grow on me.
They were like few songs. Like I still say the Clips album is probably the best album in terms of Neptune's production from first song to the last song. Like that
I agree.
I listen. That's probably the only Clips album I listen to first track to the final track.
And let me interject something to that whole Jay-Z argument. Now I could be wrong, but rumor has it, from what I understand, Jay-Z passed up on at least 3 or 4 of the tracks that ended up being on Camp Lo's first CD, and one of those tracks was actually Lucchini.
I guarantee you that happened.
Yeah, I would say, Al, listening to that in retrospect, that would sound like a Jay-Z cut if he was a user.
That's a good track, Tom. What's the name?
I'm glad he passed up on him though, because
you think Steve didn't give that to him first?
I'm glad he passed on that, because Camp Lo killed it.
Yeah, he sure
did, man.
And Camp Lo keep going with it, and they still rocking now. They stuff still fine. So.
Yeah, they dropped the album what 2018 or 19. Yeah, and they did the Pete Rock album.
They did the album with Pete Rock. Yeah.
That Pete Rock, that was some 28 blocks to Tiffany's or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Something like that.
2 or something, 52 blocks to Tiffany or something.
Yeah, I love Camp Lo, man. Them dudes, man. They second album was dope to me, but they really ain't getting no shine. Hey, let me ask y'all a question though. Speaking of Camp Lo, are there any particular acts or groups that you all felt like didn't really get their recognition that should have been bigger than what they were?
So not eliminate Camp Lo. We'll see here.
Little Brother.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Little Brother. I was just thinking of them in my mind. Little Brother always got the short.
How could it be? Got the numbers, I hear it from me.
Don't understand.
No, the sad part is I think Knife Wonder got way more recognition in terms of the hip hop community than they ever did.
That's why they
Knife Wonder. Yeah, he started his Jamila Band group, and they got way more. Rhapsody's bigger than way bigger than Little Brother in terms of recognition and popularity. Like Little Brother just completely under.
And I'm not taking anything from Rhapsody by any means, but man, Little Brother one of the most slept on groups in hip hop.
I think Rhapsody's good. She don't need no help. Like she's in a good space. Like, you know what I'm saying?
In a good state. Yeah.
Like
in terms of Knife Wonder put her out there, she got big. While Knife Wonder, you had Little Brother, but they just couldn't get.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing. I'm sure he don't do all the beats on her album.
No, not now. Not really, but
He did
like the first 2-3 albums, all Ninth Wonder.
Yeah, because he got like I don't know, he got the little dude Nick G or whatever to be giving some fire. He got straight.
And another thing that was a slap in the face to Little Brothers when they finally signed with a mainstream label in Atlantic Records, and then they put out the Minstrel Show, which was pretty much just attacking mainstream rap in a certain way of how rappers were pretty much put in the box, like the Love Song posted. And they got disrespected by Source Magazine.
Yep.
They got disrespected by BET. And they pretty much just got disrespected by the industry.
Pretty much.
Because they're into intelligent rap. And this was during the time where BET Uncut was going around and people was catering to that bullshit garbage music that was coming out. And this is where I said Little Brother brought me back into hip-hop, because more and more you started seeing lower tier rappers put out albums and get success, like that bullshit Laffy Taffy that we mentioned earlier. And it's like, how is this shit even making it? Remember back in the days when you got criticized by the rap community for putting out bullshit?
Yeah.
Now motherfuckers pull out bullshit, get successful, and you're like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you another one. What's the 5'9"?
X in the house.
Oh yes.
What's the 5'9"?
X.
What's going on?
Hey man, what's the 5'9"?
Royce.
Royce.
I mean, my boy, we got in this argument a couple years ago at my job. I said Royce the 5'9" completely shits all over Eminem. No contest.
Oh man, Larry for the
no contest.
You'll get Larry on now. Now you're gonna get him on.
Hey, bring on Eminem fanboy. No, the funny thing is, there's some Eminem fanboys that will accept that. They will say that if you mention Royce the 5'9" better than Eminem, they will accept that. Because Eminem himself acknowledged that. So that's the reason why they will accept it, because they said that Eminem said that Royce is also, and he said that Royce is probably the one guy that couldn't beat him lyrically one-on-one. And that's why I hate the Eminem fan base, because they just go by what Eminem said. You bring up anybody else against Eminem, they say, oh man, Eminem buried him, man. Eminem better than him. Man, y'all shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, which Eminem you talking about, though? Which Eminem you talking about?
I'm talking about, man. Come on. You know what Eminem I'm talking about, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, old school M or this
any Eminem.
All of them, man.
It doesn't matter.
It depends on the track, man.
Even on the Bad Meets Evil, like back in the day when they was rapping on the shit that Alchemist produced, like Royce was better on a lot of that.
Royce is always better than Eminem on every track they done together.
He's cleaner. He's cleaner.
Yeah. Every track.
As you don't have to talk about bullshit in order to shock value.
I was gonna say he's less gimmicky.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost that Eminem is.
Eminem was a gimmick when he came out. Yeah, that Slim Shady. That's why I didn't really buy him, because it was like a gimmick in wrestling. He comes out with the Slim Shady character. My name is Slim Shady, and I was like, what the fuck is this white boy with this shit? I get it. It was catchy. It was fine, and Dr. Dre was behind it, but I just didn't fall onto the train
fall onto the hype train. No.
Yeah. You also got to look, and this is not me taking up for M. I like Eminem, but I'm not saying he's the greatest lyricist of all time.
Yeah.
But you got to, if you look at it, I mean, the main videos that he put out, especially back then, were the ones that he had to do for the label, basically, to get the album out there, and then he did what he wanted to do, which a lot of artists won't do. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's true, but I think more of that was what he wanted to do. Most of that was what he wanted to do. Like, I don't think that he fell victim to Dr. Dre telling him, you got to be more crazy. I think he was already at it, and Dre just never had to rein him in. He was just like, do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna get paid regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think for him, that was kind of that was what he figured out what worked for him. It's almost like a passive aggressive attitude for him. It's like, I can be this way and I'm not supposed to be taken serious anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when I listened to the first album, there was a lot of humorous stuff on there. You know, I was like, all right, this guy has some clever, funny lines and stuff, but I never really took him serious. You know, I just thought he was just another gimmick.
Right.
Then I felt like Marshall Matthews LP really elevated him to say, all right, I can be serious with the Stand song and stuff like that. And that's where I felt like that album was what put people more onto him and said, oh, Eminem's one of the best. That Marshall Matthews LP was awesome. And that's where the huge Eminem fan base came from.
Yeah, well, it put real hip hop fans on M instead of the casual fans.
But he already had the casuals, and the hip hop fans got to him on that album.
Yeah, or he had the hip hop fans, and he got the casuals off of Marshall Mathers because we knew about him from Rawkus all the way going back to Rawkus and being with the Outsiders and all that. You know what I'm saying? And then he got with Dre. That was then when my mom could tell me, oh yeah, we heard about this dude Eminem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, you heard of Eminem? Like, oh, okay. Now you know, now you done made it. When your aunt and uncle could ask
you. He always got the hype. I remember when MTV was kissing up so much. And it was so annoying.
Him and Fred Durst, man. It was him and Fred Durst.
They kissed up to this guy already. So that's what made me start to dislike him a little bit because of the kissing up to him. They already acting like he's up there already with DMX and Jay-Z. It's just one out. Like, what? Hey, come on. Like, nah, man. That's what he was the first rapper that ever got that hype that quick, and it's because he was white. That's the first thing. The great white hype, and they just hyped the living hell out of him.
But you know what's funny with that you say that because I didn't vibe with M right off the bat because he was white, and I ain't saying I'm racist, nothing like that, but that first track that he put out, My Name Is, I was like, this is whack. You know what I'm saying? And then like right before his second album came out, I just so happened to listen to my little cousin's album, and I made it past that track, and I was like, he all right. He all right. I ain't saying he the greatest, but he all right.
That's how I felt when I listened to the first album.
Just don't piss him off.
Like he's nothing. He's like, yo, he's special. Like he's that guy. Like,
and he made a living out of making fun of people. That's another thing that he made a living off of. He made a living out of making fun of people on his videos. You know, so that was another thing that also pushed him over the top. Is that what Eminem's gonna say about this person and that person?
I also think because he was white, well, not was, he is white. He was able to get away with all that, calling out folks and whatnot, like we couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
We get called out. We get called out and get criticized immediately. In our career,
we'll get shut down.
Yeah, the career will be on the downside.
Definitely. I mean, look at Kanye when he went on stage with
Taylor Swift.
With Taylor Swift. Now think if Eminem did that.
Oh, it wouldn't probably be. They probably would have given him a pass or no, and they would probably brush it under the.
But you know what though?
Look at Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
But and then look what he said. He said about gays and stuff. But then he go perform with Elton John as to say, "This is my makeup for it." I'm like,
and they made it's just always a double standard. I mean, there's too many numerous. I mean, you can do the Kevin Hart thing, all that. I mean, it's not going to be the same. So I mean, that's just that to me. It was like an unfair advantage always. Although I do appreciate Eminem's music and I appreciate where he came from, like his rise, but it was only worked for him that way because of who he was. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, the same. It wouldn't have worked for anybody else. Like nobody else would have got the same pathway,
the same treatment and all.
Like and you could start with Dr. Dre. Like he saw the gimmick in it and it worked. Like
he was definitely right place, right time.
Yeah, it was a gimmick. Yeah. It was definitely a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? So
good G-Spot.
G-Man
in the house.
Yo, X, we talked earlier about, we lost DMX and then Black Rob today. We talked a lot about both of them and their impacts in hip hop and stuff. Your thoughts?
So, like with DMX, man, I rock with him, especially his first three albums. You know what I'm saying? Those first three albums, you can't touch them. I think I said it on the show last week. I was like, the little prayer songs that DMX put out there, man, that's tough to beat. That's on like some Big Rude type stuff with Dungeon Family. You know what I mean? And you definitely, hip hop, especially this past week, man, hip hop is taking a huge blow because we can't replace impacts in the rap game or the hip hop world like they had. You know what I'm saying? Black Rob, man, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of his album that he put out, like the mainstream album, you know what I'm saying? But when he had a track, it caught you and it made you listen to what he was saying, which is rare with any of these cats nowadays because they ain't saying shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that mumble rap shit is fucking, the 90% of the song is a hook and 5% verse, and then the other 5% ad lib shit. That's trash, and we didn't get none of that with either one of them cats. You know what I'm saying? Like when they put out good music and a hook, they hook caught you
and punch me in.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it just hurt my soul when I saw that tonight. Cause I was like, dang, who we gonna get next week? Hopefully we don't get nobody, but I was like, damn, like that shit hot.
Yes.
You know, I still listen to Whoa like it's the greatest, like it came out yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Oh, it hurt. I don't. If next week they talk about Nas, I'm dead. If they talk about Jay-Z the week after, I'm done. You know, like I don't know what else I can get, man. Don't say Most Def. Most Def, man. I might face first.
But think about what you just said with all of that, and the people who do kind of take it for granted. Oh, I'm retired, or I'm not doing it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you don't know when you go, man. I hope you accomplished everything you wanted to.
Right.
Because you got more of a shot than a lot of people would aspire to have, and you guys are pissing it away for nothing.
Right.
Just because you're unhappy with somebody or unhappy with a quote unquote contract that you signed. You know what I'm saying? Like, make music, man. Like those songs help people through, not just you. They help other people get through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's your contribution to the world. That's why God put you here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the bigger your library, the more impact you have on people, because different tracks that you put out or that they put out can touch us differently every time we listen to it, depending on what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
I think now these people are finding out now that the contracts they expire, so you can get your rights back.
Yeah.
So these people are starting to realize, you know, because now they got money, they can hire these lawyers and tell them, "Hey, man, you can re-record your music."
Yeah. Look at 8 Ball and MJG.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you can go back and do all that stuff over. That's a whole, man. You better go re-record them album.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Matt said we don't need to be talking about Lil anybody, but Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Let him go back. You know, before he turned into a skateboarder. You know, Lil Wayne was one of the dudes.
Lil Wayne today on Shade 45. I was like, okay, this is the Wayne we need back.
Like I need Lil Wayne from I Miss My Dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The Carter one, right?
The Carter. The Carter.
Just the Carter. We need that Wayne.
Best overall album of Lil Wayne's career, man.
That album was hard.
Yeah. And I don't the Carter too.
My boy at school during that time when he said that, I respect Lil Wayne for the Carter, but you don't have the audacity to say that Lil Wayne's better overall than Nas. So when he said that right there, you lost. You lost me when you say Lil Wayne's better overall than Nas.
Who said that?
One of my boys at school, man. Doing back with 2008 when I
how far south is he?
Oh, he's a Southern dude. He's a Southern dude. So that's why
I'm a Southern dude too, but I ain't gonna say Nas is not better than Lil Wayne.
He knows hip hop. He knows some of his hip.
He said Nas is not better than Lil Wayne.
No, he said Lil Wayne is better.
He said Lil Wayne was better than Nas. I can't agree with that.
Overall, lyrically, overall, just in talent wise.
I think
give him
just
two albums.
Types. They're two different types.
Yeah, they're two different.
They are two different types, but when you talking about lyrically, you know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean, Lil Wayne be saying some shit.
True, but here's
the thing. Can Lil Wayne spit over DJ Premier beat like Nas can?
I think he can, absolutely.
You think he can bring
I'm not gonna say like Nas, but I think he can.
You think Lil Wayne could lyrically kill? Because I always say that when you spit over DJ Premier beat, you gotta bring out your best verse.
But you said, but Remo just said it best. Lil Wayne be saying some shit.
He say shit.
But here's the thing, though.
I don't know if y'all ever heard of Ransom.
Yeah.
Ransom from 18. Every Lil Wayne beat, he freestyle over. He absolutely buried.
Lil Wayne did the same thing with everybody else's though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All his squad up.
I'm
talking about everything underground that Lil Wayne did. It's some top notch, bro.
You give Lil Wayne like Premier would have to give Lil Wayne the right beat.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember the Violator albums.
Yeah.
You remember the first one? The very first one. You remember the Lil Wayne song on there with Cormega?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like you would never hear him with Cormega. He was on a song with Cormega.
Right.
And over the right beat, it sounds right. You know what I'm saying? He just did the hook. Like he didn't even really bust the freestyle. But you could hear him over that track for sure. And I bet you there was a verse, but I bet you they didn't clear it. So they just used the hook. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. We had this conversation about Kendrick Lamar. But
I was finna say
Lil Wayne on the track with DMX, with Nas, with Prodigy, and Sean P.
You can't.
Who will be the last? Who you rank will have the best?
But you couldn't put Lil Wayne with them because first of all, their delivery is completely different and they got different vibes.
Like I was saying with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is a one-dimensional. Like, you cannot put him with some of the best spitters in the underground scene.
Here's the thing about Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne. Their voices are kind of what hinders them a lot of times. So their voice don't go with the beats.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They not. That's why I bring up Ransom. Ransom he said out of Jersey. He can spit over any type of beat. You can give him a trap beat. You can give him a hard East Coast beat. He will lyrically kill it.
Ransom to me is kind of like, and I think this is what X is trying to say is Ransom's vocal tone is kind of like Freddie Gibbs. Like you can rap.
I say Freddie Gibbs is similar to Ray because he could go anywhere.
It's their vocal tone. Like Lil Wayne is more of a almost like nasally. Yeah, but
that's why I said that's why I don't like. Like you put Lil Wayne, he's not the type of southern like we bring up Little Brother. Little Brother, they can vibe over any type of beat. You could give them a southern laid back beat, they can vibe over it. You could give them a hard laid back beat. The fact that song with Welcome to Durham they did with Big Daddy Kane. I don't think any southern rapper at that time could do a song with Big Daddy Kane and spit that hard.
So
you think Andre 3000 can spit over Welcome to Durham?
He can spit over anything.
I think so.
Andre can get on anything.
I don't think he could sound right.
If Nas would have been, you could have said the same thing about Nas until his latest album. Then.
See, Nas production wise fell though. I don't think Nas can spit over a Snowgoon beat right now.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'll say Andre 3000 can spit over that Welcome to Durham beat. You know why? Because Andre can flip that switch and go back to old school Andre.
When he wants to. Right.
When he wants to, Andre can take
the first two albums. I could definitely say that if he could, if he kept that.
I feel Andre can flip that switch anytime.
Anytime.
We could say that Andre kind of went out there in his later albums, but when he wants to, Andre can drop it lyrically. Anytime he wants to.
But you think you think he could flow? I just can't picture him flow over that work of the dirt.
Chase, the man Al brought it up earlier on Skewed on the Barbie. The man, if he can get on that and rap.
Yeah.
Because see now you gotta be reminiscent. X remember this. You remember when that song came out, X, and we were like, wait a minute, Raekwon and Outkast. How the hell does that happen?
Well, see, here's a funny thing that you bring that up because I've always said that Raekwon out of all the Wu-Tang, Raekwon felt like he was a Southern rapper to me.
Yeah, Raekwon can spit over Southern beats.
Yeah,
he's been doing that recently over the last 8-10 years. Raekwon is
longer than that.
But that's why I say think about Nas's latest album that he did with Hit Boy. Hit Boy is West Coast through and through.
Hit Boy. See, Nas, he's trying to go to that West Coast style vibe.
But if you think about it though, that would be more of like a more modern beat style for Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember when I talked about Master Ace and how in the 90s he went to the West Coast style of hip hop with Slaughterhouse and Sitting on Chrome?
Yeah.
And the West Coast niggas love that shit.
Yeah,
because it had that West Coast style, but Master Ace gave it the East Coast flavor, and it meshed well.
It meshes,
you know. But if you go to LA, like in the the area that's ruled by Snoop Dogg and Tupac, Nas is God. Mm-hmm. Nas is God in LA. You go to any rapper, if it ain't Wu-Tang, it's Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all they live by. All the MCs out there, even the dudes that's in your biggest Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, yeah, Nipsey love. Hey, he love Nas.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to LA, that's who they own. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't be talking about, like, oh, yeah, I want to rap like Tupac, or I want to rap. Nah, man, it's Nas. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on the East Coast. Now, I would say that the West love. I have one of my homeboys. He's from the West. Yo,
yeah, they love Nas.
He loved Nas. He was a big Nas fan coming out. He said that he loved Nas over any. He even said he loved Nas more than DMX. I mean,
hey man,
I like Nas over DMX.
Yeah. I want to say this: Lil Wayne will at least attempt a premier beat. Unlike somebody like a Lil Yachty who just don't want to. No. He's garbage overall. Lil Wayne is going to do it because
I always had this debate: Lil Wayne T.I.
Hold on, what are you talking about though? Are you talking lyrically?
Where you going with this?
Lyrically, anyway.
Hold on, lyrically, T.I. can't touch Lil Wayne.
No,
lyrically, T.I. cannot touch Lil Wayne. Now his music was overall better.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
As far as
I would say that now, if you talk about a freestyle, I will say that Lil Wayne's better because I don't think T.I. is good. He's a good freestyle. I don't think he can freestyle.
Lil Wayne is a good songwriter,
but that's what lets you know that he's a lyricist, though. You know what I'm saying?
But just you can say because Nas not good. Nas is not a great freestyle. Listen, he's not. When it comes to freestyling, Nas he's not that good when it comes to freestyle. You can't listen to a Nas freestyle.
But and how many he doesn't have to be.
He don't.
He doesn't have to be.
Hey, man.
He sit down and write all this stuff.
That doesn't matter. For when we talk about the comparison, that even though you can say that Lil Wayne's better if it's a freestyle, but is he a better overall artist?
I don't know, man.
That's two different things, though.
Because like who's better?
I mean, the stats would say
two different things.
Big L is the greatest freestyler of all time. No one can touch Big L.
You got to go.
When you selling more records than the Beatles, then I mean, you know.
Because now, is Big L's a better overall artist than Nas? Yeah. We can't really say that because Big L only had one album.
Yeah, but smaller sample size. But then the same with Biggie,
you can't say that.
Biggie only had let's say Biggie had 3 albums.
He did have 3 because Life After Death was a double
that's
album.
What I said. Let's say he had 3 albums. So out of that 3, that's a small sample size, but he ain't better than. Those 3 albums ain't better than I'm gonna get killed. They ain't better than DMX's 3.
No, they're not.
So I mean, does that mean that the DMX is better than Biggie? No. Like it's
we can't say because one thing about DMX he's another freestyle. He could kill it on the.
But his little he was always kicking an acapella.
Yeah, he could kill it without a beat. DMX is probably the one artist. He could lyrically kill it with no single beat. You just give him, let him start spitting, and he'll just spit.
Yeah.
That ain't that many that can do it. Big Pun could do it because Big Pun done multiple times.
Black Thought.
And now he don't get talked about enough. Let's talk about Black Thought.
That's because don't nobody want none.
Yeah, right. Black Thought will give you a lot of support.
He's not bringing Black Thought into the equation. Yeah, we gotta go see that man.
Yeah.
You know he be at the Tonight Show just waiting,
Right.
with that microphone when the schools come through. Like, what you want to do?
Yeah.
I'm over here freestyling for fun during these breaks, man. What you want to do?
Right.
When these little corny dudes come up on these shows and perform.
Ill Biscuit.
I will eat you
I
up
always say that you have artists.
Hey,
and you have
Ill Biscuit was dope, man. I'll say that. You know, talking about Matt Brother Ill Biscuit. I'm talking about the group from Virginia. They were pretty dope.
Oh yeah, Ill Biscuit. That first album.
Hold up. Y'all want to talk about lyricists though?
We talking about you can't like you have the lyricists and you have artists.
No. What I was gonna say, if y'all really want to talk about a lyricist, Sean J from Field Mob.
Oh yeah,
that's 3 albums.
Yeah, he's the best. That's Sean J. Yes. He
ain't get no type of
underrated lyricist that was not. And he's another lyricist that was like held back with production. Like this was another Southern. This is a bunch of Southern.
Second Field Mob album. The first Field Mob album was hard. The second one with all that Jazzy Faye production.
Yeah,
that shit wasn't bad at all, man.
Hey, that third one, I like the third one the best though.
Yeah,
which one was Rooted to the Tutor?
No, that's Rooted to the Tutor, the second one.
Yeah, okay. The third one was hard too.
Pine Trees or something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you.
That was with all the that had all the Zone 4 production. What's his name? What's old boy name? So that was all Hit Boy.
When he came out with I Hate You, when they came out with I Hate You, me and Junior Mon had just split, and that song, hey, that was my anthem right
now. I hate you, bitch, right?
that was my anthem. But lyrically, I was like, yo, I ride with these dudes, man.
Yeah.
Now, to this day, Smoke.
That's the dark one, right?
Yeah, Smoke was he killed Sean J now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if y'all want to go back to what is it? Disturbing the Peace, Ludacris.
The song they got on the compilation.
Man, that Family Affair.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then he got one called, I want to say it's like Taste the Rainbow or something. Come See Me. The name of the track is Come See Me.
Smoke, yeah.
And man, boy. And then Brother to Brother, when they brought that out, he carried them boys, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Smoke was holding it down because old boy was tripping for a minute.
Yeah, he had got on this stuff, man.
Yeah, he was tripping, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. He had got on that shit. Smoke had to carry him.
So what do you think of Dead Prez?
Oh, Dead Prez was hard.
Dead Prez, man.
Yeah, I liked that first album.
Dead Prez got a little too ahead of that stuff.
But see, I not all they beats caught my attention. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem with their second album.
Yeah.
I'm
first one was all Lord Jamar, right? Lord Jamar did that.
Yeah, I think he did most. He did most of that first.
He did most of it.
But the second album,
that's when they kind of
The Dead Prez problem was they couldn't sustain their run. Like somebody like Immortal Technique was able to sustain his, with the same type of content, even more aggressive. Dead Prez couldn't sustain theirs.
Well, you can't do it all. You can't do the rapping and the booking and the beats and the Like you gotta delegate to somebody.
Yeah,
and I don't think they never. And I was probably smart that they did get away from management and who's an artist and which is basically Lord Jamar. Who's doing their production and their manager and all that. Mm-hmm. But you gotta at least lock in with somebody who's like-minded that can. You gotta create a sound.
Yeah.
And I don't think they ever created a sound. The sound they had wasn't their sound. You know what I mean? And we know it on that first album is that Get Free wasn't their sound, obviously, because they couldn't sustain it. Like Sean said, it wasn't something they were able to carry from album to album. It always changed. They always sound different.
Because the one thing about Immortal Technique, he maintained his sound and his style. He never had it was all him.
Yeah. It was his creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like he made it right. You got it. You got to.
How y'all feel about Turk?
Turk. Turk from
Cash Money.
I was never a huge Turk fan.
You gotta like.
I like BG. BG I thought was
BG was straight, but Turk, outside of that commercial, outside of whatever they put out, Turk was that dude.
I never listened to any of his stuff, so
I didn't really get into Turk.
Like if you listen to any of his stuff that wasn't produced,
it took me a while to break down Juvie. I didn't get on. Juvie had me like I was like, hold on, man, rewind that. Like it took me after a while. I was just
I could not grasp Ha when that first came out. Like that was like the most confusing shit ever.
Hey, I love that.
Like for me, that was the most confusing.
100 Degrees was my shit. I love that album.
Yeah.
And then when Jay-Z co-signed it, I'm like, what the fuck, Jay?
And Jay,
that made me mad though, because I was like, man, you don't even understand this shit. You just trying to get on a hot song.
Exactly. And that's
trying to get on a hot song, trying to get him on hot.
Let me tell you, down here when Hot came out, hey, we understood everything that motherfucker was saying, man.
Oh man, come on, y'all.
Bro, I had to go to originalhiphoplyrics.com to fucking read the shit.
Cause hey, right here in Macon, Georgia, it wasn't enough for us to have a conversation just like that.
Now you know what song I loved, but some of the lyrics was hard to decipher, but I just loved it. Was fucking Lil Troy, How to Be a Baller.
Oh yeah,
want to be a baller. I want to be a baller. I love the beat was smooth and the hook was amazing, but sometimes it was hard to decipher the lyrics.
Yep.
You talking about hard to decipher the lyrics? Damn. What's the boy from No Limit? That sound like E40. Silk the Shocker.
Oh, Silk the Shocker. Oh,
he don't sound like nobody's E40, and
he's not E40, but he's E40.
He made and then he was so whack. He had to say that he created that style. Dude, he was so whack. He had to say he created that style. He was terrible. He did that song with dude who? What did he say that style was called? What did he say?
Doodoo, fresh out.
Fresh out the intestines.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Silk the Shocker cannot rap, man. If Silk the Shocker
he
can rap,
cannot, dog, and I don't want to hear nothing he got to say about it.
C Murder was tough though.
He said it was like staccato.
I say C Murder over there.
Silk the Shocker should have kept washing cars.
Man.
Hey, that's one thing I give P.
The song he did
brought his boys out though.
Yo, he did that song.
Yeah, he did that. I couldn't stand when Master P was popular for Make Him Say, I went this complicated shit.
He is so garbage. Hey,
but that man a genius though.
I know he's a genius. I can't hate on his building up his empire and making money.
Larry, he was terribly offbeat.
Hey, when you got a new album out every single week, boy, hey.
He would have.
God, I ain't got enough CD.
He would have 4 or 5 albums every week.
Yeah,
it's right now. Oh, Mamma Mia.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Mia X.
No, Mia X.
Mamma Mia.
I remember he was
the best MC on the group.
Her and Fiend. People
was good too. I like the
boy.
I forgot all about
Fiend was hard.
Yeah, Fiend was good.
Fiend was hard. Fiend's still hard right now. He did all them albums he did with Currency.
Mm-hmm.
Those albums are hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, one of y'all brought up Freddie Gibbs earlier, man.
Yeah.
I just gotten him the last couple of years. I'm like, God, this dude.
Freddie Gibbs hard.
I love Freddie Gibbs.
Have y'all talked about Crit yet?
No, you talking about
Big Crit.
Oh no,
I like Big Crit.
I love Big Crit.
I roll Big Crit.
Like I fucked with him when I heard him do what was it? What's the song he did? He did the play off from the Hieroglyphics back in the night. Souls of Mischief, 93 to Infinity.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he did that play on that song, and I was a fan of it ever since.
Man, I sat down and listened to all his albums in one day.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Mac to get out of jail. Mac was the best. That was hard. Any you guys like Rock Marciano?
Oh, all right.
His style is hit or miss for me.
Right.
Like sometimes he can come lyrically great, but then when I listen to his album, it doesn't jive with me as much. Like he might have a few good songs, then the rest is kind of boring.
Yeah.
I think he another one with production because his album with Apollo Brown was great. I love his Apollo Brown album.
Yeah. So you like the stuff he does with other people? You don't like when he does his own production?
Yes, his own production. His becoming production. Because I think because I forgot the name of that album that he did that I downloaded like this is not an album I'm gonna come back to, man.
Like his productions don't stand out.
Yeah,
it doesn't stand out.
When he do albums with Underground, like I said, he think he did 2 albums with Apollo Brown. And there was another, I think, Stu Bangers. Yeah, he was on the compilation album with Stu Bangers. And Stu Bangers.
Yeah, Stu Bangers album. Yeah, Stu Bangers is hard.
Yeah,
he did a few songs with Large Pro, and those were bangers.
Yeah. So with him, it's all about production.
I've been a fan of this.
This artist is like I said, the production will fail them if it's just weak. So let's bring up Matthew Ragazzino.
Oh,
when he was on the Anarchy album, that's when I mean,
that dude,
Brownsville Jesus was such a disappointment, man.
You know who had to grow on me? Fabulous.
Yeah.
That first album, Fabulous, I just listened to that a couple months ago.
It ain't aged well.
Do what now?
You want to holler back on it and all that?
I hated that.
Yes.
But then,
I'll say that his second album.
I was living in New Jersey at that time, man. He was all over the place.
He was.
He was on every club.
Yep.
It was nuts.
I ain't gonna say he was my favorite, but he did grow on me because every album it seemed like he got better.
Yeah, I said the second album was better than that first album. I like it.
Definitely got better.
Yeah.
Right. But see, to me, like
some of his mainstream songs, they sound a little R&B-ish and they favor towards the woman. But I like the sound of it. They ain't poppy-ish.
I liked all the shit he did with Lil Mo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Only the Lil Mo song.
Yeah, Lil Mo. Those shits was hard. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then when he switched to the song he did with Tamia, like he has that pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like can't do no wrong. And to me, it's like almost like it's like AZ. Like to me, I feel like AZ. If AZ would have tried to like find his niche, and keep going instead of, it's almost like he was waiting for somebody to kind of,
he was scared to step out of the shadow.
Yeah, man.
That second album was just a terrible fault, man.
I felt like AZ found himself when he started working with Premier and did the
I thought AWOL album brought him back because AWOL
and the format were two solid albums.
Yeah, they brought him back because I was like, man, AZ, I don't know what's going on. Because the Asiatic album, when I listened to the album, there was a few tracks on there. And was that the last album he did a song with Nas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time he did a song with Nas.
At that time.
Yeah. He was on Nas's last album, right?
Yeah, they finally came back together with him. They finally got Cormega and Foxy back together, the firm.
I got a question for y'all. Mm-hmm. I got a question. Would y'all consider Pac a lyricist or just a great storyteller?
Pac is a storyteller and a poet. Yeah. That's I look at Pac and Nas and they're the same in terms of they.
So, I would have to say he's a lyricist then, because he could write anything.
Yeah, he's a great writer.
Yeah,
he's a writer. That's what he's like. So I think he's a poet and a writer. And a storyteller.
Yeah.
Because lyrics, you put Tupac on the song with the lyrics, he's going. I said I can't remember what song was. I said I think it was a song he did with Ice-T and Tretch and what's the name? What's the name from Jersey? Who passed away? Damn, who did the Gangsta Bitch song? That's his name.
Apache.
Yeah, I thought that was the song. Lyrically, that was like the best he spit, and I think there was more because he was spitting with lyrics. You get in the track with Tretch and Apache, you gotta come hard. And I thought that Pac King Hard, Pac.
It's Tretch be murdering every song.
Yeah.
Tretch will murder with mom.
Yeah,
I love Pac on the MC Breeze song, but MC Breeze was better on there.
Yeah, MC Breeze outside. Breeze was outside him, man. Like Pac was great on it,
but if they both would have rapped the same way, it wouldn't have been a good song.
Yeah,
you always gotta have somebody take that top line. Somebody gotta come on the bottom. Like you gotta.
But MC Breeze had his own style anyway, so
right.
You gotta fit in, you know.
Pac just joined along. Ooh, Larry brought up the 5 deadly venoms.
Larry need to hurry up.
Who I want to bring up earlier, Jadakiss, man. The lot.
What's your rank your Outkast album?
What's my favorite Outkast album?
Rank them, yeah.
You said rank them?
Oh, rank them.
Yeah, I want extra, yeah.
ATL is number 1, followed by Southern Playalistic, followed by Aquemini. Then you got Idlewild, and then you got Speakerbox Love Below.
Oh,
you got
He wrote right down the pipe.
Idlewild had some tracks on it, man.
Yeah, Idlewild had some tracks.
Well,
I like that album.
Over what do you call it? What's the last album? Not the
last album was Idlewild.
Yeah,
no, before that. I'm talking the one that had Bombs Over Baghdad on it.
Stankonia. I forgot all about Stankonia.
That's what I'm saying. Where's Stankonia?
Stankonia had to be on there.
Stankonia will be number 4 then. They had some good tracks to me, but it wasn't a real. To me, it wasn't a real Outkast album. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I was saying earlier, like I fucks with their first 3 albums.
First three albums, I think.
And then after that, it's give or take for me. Like I liked Stankonia and I liked it the double album and even Idlewild, but those will be my bottom 3 compared to their first 3.
Cause I ain't gonna lie to you, ATLians, I could play that beginning to end over and over and over and over and over and over. Aquemini.
The aliens had elevators.
Elevators,
Bell.
I let you stay at my crib.
Yeah,
13th floor.
When you was hungry and fed you a hot meal.
Extraterrestrial. Now, what's the name? Jezebel, but the remix.
Yeah,
not the album version, the remix.
No, the remix.
With Babyface singing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, now that's what I'm saying. Like that track. See, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people don't know about the remix, baby, because they ain't had them records. You know,
man, I hate when I buy an album and it's the original one and you heard the remix first and then you buy. That's like when I brought.
It's like Crossroads.
When I brought All Eyes on Me. And I hear the fucking remix of California Love. I'm like, this ain't the California Love.
But see, that Jazzy Bell was the video version, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it had the drums longer at the end. Mm-hmm. It's a total different song.
A lot of people don't realize there was a remix that's So Fresh, So Clean, but it was only with And One.
Yeah.
It wasn't on not one album.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that on the And One mixtape. I'm like, yo, this is different from the album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And speaking of songs that you really can't find anymore, so y'all heard of Esther Rowe, right?
Yeah.
The white chick Esther Rowe. She had a song called "The Word I Know." She had some people call it a remix, but Goody Mob had one, and she was singing the hook on it.
Oh,
Country Living.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But you can't find it nowhere. You can just find the instrumental. But
you can't find none of Estero's music.
Man.
A lot of her music. I don't know if she sued somebody or what, but you can't find a lot of her. You can probably find it on YouTube, but
you can just find her latest album on YouTube. Well, I hate to say latest, but because it's been a minute.
Because it's some of the stuff that she did with like Black Eyed Peas before they got
right.
Before they got
was it? That's the joint. That's the jam.
Exactly. But see, she had shit. She had shit before that though. She was like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember because I used to see her out here all the time at like raves and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she'd be performing at raves, and then then when she linked up with them, that she got big, and then all of a sudden she stopped. I don't know what. Something happened. Something bad happened. I remember, and I want to say something bad happened to her.
I think she said something about the wrong person. I think.
I think she got sexually assaulted by somebody, by one of these artists. You know what I'm saying? And it soured her to the game. Because Estero was dope. She was dope, man.
Well, they got the instrumental and the acapella on YouTube. So
I told you, hey,
download
be
them
for that,
together.
man. It ain't the same.
Yeah, you got to hear that.
It don't link up right.
Yeah,
it ain't
right?
the same because I tried it.
Like I played one on one and the other, right?
Man, it's that track, man.
Remember a couple of weeks ago when I posted the Cool Breeze Goody Mob Outkast song?
Watch for the hook.
Watch for the hook, man. I love that song. And I listened to the Cool Breeze album and the Goody Mob album around that time, and I was like, damn, this is the South that I like.
Hey, man.
You
know how long it took for me to like creatine? At first, I hated it.
You like that?
I couldn't stand it, but then,
Do you like that, man?
I didn't like it when it first came out, but I sat down and I really, really listened to that album from beginning to end. I was like, this is all right. Even though
Witch Doctor's album.
Oh my god!
Ooh, Heaven Coming, baby.
No love.
Heaven Coming.
I always like the Witch Doctor style with the wild style of lyrics and stuff. That's what the Cool Breeze video put me on to him more, and I started checking out his stuff.
Witch Doctor shit was, man, his shit.
Yeah, Witch Doctor was dope.
Yeah.
He just disappeared.
I wish. Well,
he left the scene like, what
He's
happened?
probably around somewhere.
No, he's still around. He's still, but he would I forgot it's Dungeon Family something. Oh man.
Oh, never mind.
No. It's like DF something, but I can't remember what they call it now. But it ain't like the way they do it is you'll find what's my boy?
He was like Big Rube and all them, right?
Now see, let me tell you, I'm Big Rube, the most slept on Dungeon Family member.
He did that shit on We Cause album.
Babylon. He was the one that did on Babylon on ATLians.
No, but he did We Call It's album. Offset. He did all the interludes for Offset's album.
Ooh, Killer Mike. Ooh.
Yeah.
Killer Mike, man.
Killer Mike before Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
Run the Jewels, don't get me, I'm not taking up from, I'm saying Killer Mike, but he had that edge before when he was
I always found it surprising that he teamed up with LP because I thought that was like a mismatch. When that
was a genius move on both.
I know.
Because
I walked with LP when he was with Company Flow.
Yeah, absolutely.
When they put out Bone Crusher. And then he created Definitive Jux.
Yeah.
You know, with Mr. Lift, Acrobatic, and all them cats from Boston. Mm-hmm. So I fucked with LP. So when I heard he was hooking up with Killer Mike, I was like, wow, that's kind of a...
I like where they were able to take it to.
Yeah.
That to me is what I appreciate the most is they're basically a mainstream rap group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need... Like, they're like a pop group. Because you can go, like, look at all the comic book covers with Run the Jewels. Yeah. You can go to the store and I see all kinds of shit that's got Run the Jewels. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wouldn't have expected that to blow up the way it did.
I love it, but I'm with you. I never would have thought.
Like I said, LP was such an underground producer and rapper.
Yeah.
That when he hooked up with Killer Mike, I thought first of all it was going to be a clash of styles.
Was right? Like, how did they even run into each other?
Yeah, and then I thought it was going to be like a clash of styles. Because LP been used to working with Mr. Lift, you know, and all the cats in Definitive Jux.
But see, that lets you know how much of a lyricist that Killer Mike is.
I always thought Killer Mike was good lyric.
Yeah.
I think Killer Mike could go.
See, but then that goes along with like what we said earlier. Like, Big Boy is an underrated MC. Like,
he is.
Yeah.
Time. That's from his claw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even now, like Big Boy get busy.
Yeah, he do.
Like, he just, when you think about everybody wants to Andre 3000, man, Big Boy hold his own, man. He didn't need a Big Boy to get him out, or he didn't need
And speaking of hold his own against anyone, Ludacris. Yeah. Ludacris could go bar for bar with anyone.
I disagree with that.
I mean, I just like that he can ride a beat.
Yeah, oodles and noodles. I disagree with that.
No, don't bring up that song. Yeah.
It's the oodles and noodles. That's his whole entire rap flow.
Fat Rabbit.
Yeah. He was on that Major Look remix of Jadakiss and Nas.
Hey man, the best track Ludacris ever put out was when he did the I can't remember which Madden 98, I think it was.
Oh, you think one? I forgot. Yeah,
that was the greatest. That was the greatest track he ever put out, in my opinion.
Madden 98.
Yeah, that was a dope song, but I like.
Wasn't that Fat Rabbit? The one he did with Timbaland? That wasn't Fat Rabbit.
Madden 98.
That wasn't on Madden 98.
I don't know if it was Madden. I think it could have been Madden 99 or 2000.
Oh, no, that was on. It was on.
Madden didn't start getting licensed music until 2000. Yeah. So it had to be 2000.
Right.
Primo, you brought up Timbaland.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
What's y'all thoughts on
Promiscuous
Timbaland as a producer?
Promiscuous girl? What? What would you say, Sean?
I thought I was going to say, what's y'all thoughts on Timbaland as a producer?
I love him.
I love him, man. I love
all. To me, when it comes to Timbaland, he produced better when it comes to the R&B artists than hip hop. I don't not like all his hip hop songs. I just do not like.
He can't rap for shit.
The boogie jumps.
Hey, but you know what though?
The stove to handle
was some
my business
tracks though.
Up
like when it comes to Timbaland, for me, I don't truly dislike him. I think he has some good stuff. Some good production, but at the same time,
please, brother, don't slam my car door. It costs too much money to get that shit fixed. I don't need no time, man. Come on, dude.
Man, you don't get out of here.
When he started acting like Puffy, that's when I really stopped digging him.
Yeah. Did y'all listen to his album with Mako? The Timbaland Mako album.
Magoo?
Up jump. Oh, Magoo. Oh, okay. Magoo.
I'm like, what?
Hell no.
I know we talked about tonight.
Hey, but
I never heard of them.
But Timbaland call him Maganu on the CD, so you don't even know what.
Yeah, right.
So.
Right.
Hey. No, you just to get the word. Hey, call him that just so it fit the song, right? Just so the lyrics fit.
And call Maganu to see he's up. Hey, but you know what though, man? That first Timbaland and I can't even say it right now. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo.
That shit was dope for 2 songs on there.
Exactly.
And no, well, hold up. They weren't even rap songs.
Right.
It was the song that Genuine had on there and the Aaliyah song that was on there. Man, Joy and Man Undercover. Boy, them shit right there, man. Boy, I'm telling you, that's my favorite Aaliyah
song. Those are the only 2 songs on the album that I listened to.
Jason, you didn't like none of Missy's albums?
You didn't like none of them?
I like.
He said he didn't. They said he didn't like none of Timbaland's productions.
No, I said I ain't like
Missy album.
Hip hop.
Like you said, all the songs were hard with the R&B.
Outside of a few songs,
Missy was hip hop.
Yeah, I said yes. Yeah, outside of a few songs, none of those albums. Like I can't put Missy albums in terms of a female. Like where would y'all rank Missy in terms of female? Yeah, because I'm not a big fan of Missy. Like she's good, but.
In terms of lyricism, I ain't really never heard her like just go off.
She ain't never tried to.
That's what I said. Her style is good, but none of the songs hasn't aged well.
I felt that Timbaland's music. I felt like Timbaland's music fit.
I still listen to Missy's music right now.
Yeah, I felt like Timbaland's music fit well with Missy.
Yeah, I
can say that I enjoyed Timbaland's music with Missy more than I enjoyed his music with Jay-Z.
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean that's a way bigger sample size.
That's right.
He did like
the songs he did with Aaliyah. I think all his hits with Aaliyah were great. I think all his hits with Aaliyah were great songs. But
I think what Sean's saying is that you have certain producers that just completely fit well
Yeah,
with certain artists.
And Missy was that Missy and Aaliyah in that crew that came around, came up under his beats. They all sound good with him. I'm not even going to get back started on that Jay-Z album because after we'll be on here for another 4 hours, we'll start ranting. I'll start ranting, and I'm trying to avoid it tonight.
Oh, everything he did with Jay-Z.
Go ahead, Al.
Fucking lobster shrimp, man.
I will say this. Now Timbaland's production went very well with that Ludacris album, Red Light District, because he did a few joints on that thing, man, like The Potion. It was a couple of, I can't remember specifically, but I don't think he did Red Light District, but he did about 4 or 5 tracks on that Ludacris CD on Red Light District. But the production actually fit because Ludacris, man, he's a good rapper, but I wouldn't call him like an MC, so to speak. But he does what he does very well. Right. Yeah. He can get you crunk, what he says, is comical and stuff. And he might throw a couple of puns in here and there. But as far as like the production that Timbaland put, his production went very well with Ludacris.
Yeah,
but he's like one of the only people.
Like certain people, Timbaland's music work well with, and then there's people that
not straight out the bottle. I thought it was a flask at first. Good Lord.
Ain't no judgment over here, Remo.
Hey, he warm on the inside. Now
Remo one that he had like he in one of them the New York hip hop videos.
Yeah, he one of them uncles. He did go chase with some coke.
You wasn't gonna chase with no coke.
Coca-Cola, baby.
Yeah.
Made out the freezer, you know what I'm saying?
What's funny is I rocked with Kanye before he actually picked up the mic.
Yes, me too.
Yes, Kanye was a better producer than when he started rapping.
Oh my God. When he was behind the scene, I was like, yo, I rock with this dude. Then he picked up the mic. I like, hey, man.
It's
like somebody just saw his jaw back, or why his jaw back shut, man.
Damn.
It's almost as if like I picked up his first 2 albums mainly for the production. But when I got to the 3rd album, I was like, I can't take this shit no more. I stuck with him because you had great production, and I kind of wish I just brought instrumental albums of his.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes I question the lyrics, like what the fuck you just said? You just making words up to make them fit together, bro.
Right. Yep. Now I would say, like I love College Dropout, Graduation, whatever, but 808 and Heartbreak, that was I rode with that album.
Yeah, that
minus 2 songs.
I think College Dropout to me is his best CD. That's just me.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, like, where it touched home with me because it was right after his mom passed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt where he was coming from because my mom died when I was 4. So I understood where he was coming from, with the exception of RoboCop and the other song either right before or right after. Scratch those two and I let that whole thing
ride. There was
a
couple on that it was just kind of like whatever, but I feel you, like he was pouring it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that was the beginning of the downfall, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Them was the Amber Rose years.
Yeah.
I probably would have went too.
A lot of people love Mike Twisted Dark Fantasy.
That album to me is his best.
I just like
as a whole as an artist. But I agree the College Dropout for me was his magnum opus because it was from everything he had went through. That was the culmination, and then out of everything after that, I feel like Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy was like his Mount Olympus.
I mean, you can't help but the way he started out strong with that Shaka Khan sample on Through the Wire. That was a phenomenal first single. And then he blew up when Slow Jam came. Like with him and Twister, that shit just blew up. And I couldn't stand when they played that on the R&B radio station and take out Twister's verse. Like, what is the point of playing it on there?
Hey, I think I told you before, man, the jazz station out here will play I Like the Way You Move, but they take Big Boy's lyrics out. And it's just, I love the way you move through the whole song. And I'm like, how the fuck? That's blasphemy.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of
don't
Twister,
play my song at all then.
Get It Wet. Get It Wet. And then Wetter.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, you play Get It Wet right now, and then you bound to get something.
Yeah, something.
You bound to get something.
About to be slippery, huh?
oh, buddy. Look at Matt. He over there playing Overwatch.
Yeah, Matt over there playing Wu-Tang Clan.
Nah, Matt over there. He looking at Pam Grill right now.
Listen to Red Man.
I knew it was something like that. He over there had the steak face, so he was like.
I kind of felt Redman fell off after the Funk Doctor album. What was it? Yeah, like his fourth.
After Muddy Waters?
2000. I thought that
I
album.
didn't like Muddy Waters. No, Muddy Waters. I'm getting that confused with his the Malpractice album. I did not like that.
Oh yeah, that album was terrible. And then
that's the
Funk
Muddy
Doc's name or whatever with the little character.
Hey, he did. I like that. I like one track off of that song. Off that album. What was it?
React.
What was it? God, what's the name of that song?
I think it's Doc's name.
That's the name of the album. But,
that's my least. I don't even have that album on my list.
I don't even
it started out.
I listened to like a few tracks of Malpractice, and then I just like
that album. That's an album I think I listened to 2 times, and that was it.
But see,
It is the Dark Side. That's it.
Dark Side was
I
a
can
really
remember the
good
name.
album.
Hold on. Let me.
There's a Dark Side. Is the second one.
Yeah, that was it.
Like his first 3 albums were classics. Then the 4th one was fine, because that was the one with the goodness.
The goodness. That's the best song. I know that shit.
What was it?
Da Da Da.
Which one is that?
Remember that name of the song?
It's track number 16. It's the one that started
I
off.
don't even have that album.
Cut. How you go? Hold on. I see.
Don't even have that album.
Yeah. I hope we don't get penalized or anything.
Just make it. Okay, I like the beat on that.
Yeah, that album. Once I played it one time, I don't think I played it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I listened to the album 2 times.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I bought it because of the cover. It looked
Yeah.
like a comic book. You know what I'm saying?
I was just like, come on, Funk Doc.
That was literally the only song on that whole album I liked.
The Method Man, Redman, Blackout 2 was just that was just disappointment. Oh boy,
Blackout album fire.
Yeah,
the Blackout 2.
Blackout 2.
I just needed them to come out with another Rottweiler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that whole first album wasn't supposed to happen with, man, think about it. That album came out, the El Nino was out at the same time.
Yeah, Def Jam was killing it then, boy.
Yeah, man.
Def Jam, EPMD, Def Squad.
Yeah, that whole Def Squad album was
Keith Murray was another one that his first album was really good, and then each album after that started to decline.
Because he turned into Bobby Brown.
Yeah,
Bobby Brown.
You watch some of his interviews now, he tell you what he was doing. He was on that shit.
I was gonna say his nostril got wider and wider, boy.
And you could see straight to his brain.
Right. And that lip got closer and closer to that nostril. It
looked like Joker.
Right. His Joker after a stroke.
5 Jokers.
Doggone, speaking of, like, what's my boy? The one with all the pimples. Craig Mack.
Yeah, before he played it.
Yeah. I thought Craig Mack got done wrong by Bad Boy.
Yeah, Bad Boy.
Because he was like the first artist to be supposed to be big with Biggie, but Biggie completely outshined him.
They gonna release the albums the same day.
Yeah, close to the same time, and Biggie just far superior. And Craig Mack got put to the side.
Well, the public picked their artists. You know,
right?
That was too wrong.
Yeah.
And to me, Craig Mack, he should have already had.
You're not supposed to leave it up to us. You're supposed to dictate what we like. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't
Diddy
give
did
us
that on
two
purpose,
options.
though.
But you can't do that. You know, I mean,
Diddy, you got to think about it. Diddy did that because he knew who he wanted to push more than the other one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt him, but it hurt
well, it
Craig.
did overall because he could have made
Craig was doing a lot more. Good. He did the song with Mary J.
Mm-hmm.
He did a couple of other sounds. I forgot the name of that song that he did before the release of the first album. It was another song that he did, and you had him part of the remixes. I mean, what's the name? The Boys the Men Vibing remix. You know, he was a big part of that. Yeah. So like you utilizing Craig. All this, that's why I was saying that his album should have came out at least 3 months before Biggie.
Yeah, but he had more invested in Bigger than he did anybody else.
So what?
Yeah.
So when you got more invested in something, you want a bigger return out of it, so you're gonna push it.
But they were doing so much of Craig to the point that once their albums came out, you just completely pushed Craig to the side. And the fact that you had to put that remix out there, the Flavor in Your Ear remix, and that song wasn't even about Craig. It was about Biggie, LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes blew up because of that song.
Yep.
That song put Busta Rhymes on the map.
Yeah, it had people anticipating Busta's first album.
It put him back on the map.
Well, because after the leaders of the new school broke up, that reestablished Busta.
Reestablished Busta. Yeah, it put him really on the map.
I'm gonna say because hip hop fans knew exactly who he was before.
Yeah, he
came out by himself. You know what I'm saying?
You know the leaders of the new school. I mean, they have 4 or 5 videos, so I mean, by that time you can at least know them.
Right.
Especially when they on the scenario video tried.
Oh, that's a classic.
Hey, y'all listen to Busta's new album?
Oh, that was a cool album. I listened to it. Busta came back to form in terms, like, I want to say this is probably the best of Busta in terms of being serious and lyrical. Like, he ain't this is not the Busta from the 90s where he was crazy mighty Busta Rhymes. This is just Busta Rhymes.
See, this Busta is like big. When like my boss he had asked me had I heard, and I was like, nah, I didn't know. And he said, yeah, it's ELE2. And I was like, I said, is it on par with ELE?
I would say that.
He said he was better.
I would say it's better because the production of that album, I think, kind of, you could say that it was mixed. Cause I thought it was a few songs. Cause I think that and Ernie Carew was probably some of his 2 best albums in terms of production. Because what's the name of this? When Disaster Strike, there's only about a few songs that I could listen off of that album. Or when I look at Busta Rhymes like LL Cool J. Busta was carried more by his hits than his albums, because his albums overall was not great albums.
Well, he was carried by his energy.
Yeah, well, his energy and his hits. But in terms of the album, Busta ain't produced a bona fide classic album. Like LL Cool J. Like name an LL Cool J
you said album. Okay, yeah, I agree. Now, well,
name an LL Cool J album that you will put in your top 25 hip hop albums of all time.
I wouldn't.
Exactly. LL don't have a great album that everyone look to like a Nas Illmatic. That album right there is a must play for any hip hop fan.
I can't say I go back and listen to The Coming.
Yeah. The Coming is a solid album.
I go back and listen to that all day.
Yeah, that's a solid album.
All of his albums are decent. They had hits.
Yeah, I think that the hits carried the albums. Because without the hits, I don't think the album people will gain any
but see,
attention towards it.
That's the thing though. Every song that on The Coming, every video that he put out was basically the whole album.
Yeah, they saved the album. It was carried by them hits.
But if every song was basically what he had in the video, how can you say it carried the album? It was the album.
Man.
So every song was a hit.
It was a hit. There was a discussion.
I'll say this.
They said that what's more important, having hits or having a great album?
At that time,
look at the Lost Boys first album.
I was gonna say
the Lost Boys first album had 5 fucking hits. The
But
album
they only
didn't
put out 2 albums though.
Right.
Exactly. But I still say that the second album overall is better in terms of overall production. You listen to that second album, especially with Cannabis. Cannabis brings some lyrical fire on that album. That album, I think, is a better overall.
The first one was all Easy Mo B, all them hits.
Yeah,
That
that album was carried by the hits, but the overall album.
That Lost Boys album was probably all tracks that Tupac didn't want for his album.
Right.
Yeah, you can say that.
I'm gonna say this. I love the hits, but I don't like spending money on albums that has hits, but the album is mediocre as a whole.
Exactly.
Like I'd rather just buy the singles than buy the album.
But see, that's the thing. We had that option back then.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, exactly.
We had that option.
I got 3 singles on Busta Rhymes.
But here's the thing to answer your question though. The thing to answer your question was back then the hits were more important.
Yeah, it was more important for a hit.
Your singles sold way more than your albums did.
You wanted to have $1 million video with Hype Williams.
Oh God!
Right.
Don't even rank him up.
Like if you think about it though, go back.
And Busta Rhymes was the Michael Jackson of rap. You know, what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Videos was $2
I
million.
mean, look on the what was the video he did with what's the name with that Hype Williams?
Yeah, that's Hype Williams. That overproduced nonsense.
Oh,
hey, check this out though. So go back to Elevators. They had 7 different versions of that single that you can go out and buy, and I guarantee those singles outsold those albums at that time.
Oh yeah.
So that's what carried it.
Yeah.
And then when singles disappeared, just completely fell off the face of the planet, that's when the albums start picking things back up. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, then back then, you think about it, especially our age group.
But look at the album like Mobb Deep, The Infamous. You had Shook Ones, you had Survival of the Fittest, you had was Give Up the Goods the third hit?
That was that. I don't know if that was the third hit or not. I don't think that was the third hit. See, that's different though. Like Mobb Deep, they had songs, but they wasn't really like monster hits compared to like
Temperatures Rising. Temperatures Rising.
Temperatures Rising was the other hit.
Give Up the Goods.
I was just looking because they had Give Up the that was a song. They did a video to that. That was the
third. That was like a mashup of other videos. Somebody made that. I swore that was an official video until I really watched it. And I was like, that was like a mix of.
Hey, you might want to just say it instead of holding your finger up.
I'm trying to be polite, man.
I'm just saying, you might want to go ahead and throw that in there before you forget what you're trying to say.
No, I was gonna piggyback off of what you said, man. Singles were very important because, man, I just had a memory where when we used to all work at the mall, making mall and stuff, man. We had like the record bar and Camelot Music. When you hear about Turtles records and tapes, but when you heard about a single back in the day, man, you could get the single with just the song on it, or you can get the maxi single. And then the cool part that was dope about the maxi singles, and this actually went for R&B and hip hop.
Right.
They typically will have remixes on those maxi singles that you can't find nowhere.
Right.
Like you couldn't find nowhere. I remember I bought Kiss of Life, the maxi single for Sade. And she had an extended version of that song that's not even on the greatest hits version of the one that she dropped a few years back. And I've been looking for that song forever, but it was on the maxi single.
Same thing with the Method Man, Mary Jane.
Mary J. Blige?
Yeah, Mary J. Blige. They had the album, because that's what it wasn't until they remastered the album when they finally put the song, because the album didn't even have the video version of the song.
Right.
That was only released on the single, and it was more of a single LP because they had 4 different versions of that song.
Well, this just like Pain.
The Aaliyah At Your Best had the Let Me Know remix on there.
But they did that a lot in the 90s, early 90s, when they just had
nobody. If you know about it. That R. Kelly remix was the one.
Which
Yeah.
hold on, which R. Kelly remix?
The one with the bass, the Jeep
Every song
remix.
he had a remix for it.
It's called the Jeep Beat remix.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know, and it's got that doom, 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 doom. That shit was hard. That shit was hard.
Like when you look at singles and stuff back then, so it was smart on them. But like when you go to the Above the Rim soundtrack, if you bought the CD, you didn't get Pain. You had to buy the tape, or you had to buy the single.
They have the cassette will have an exclusive song, and the vinyl will have an exclusive song. It's like each format will sometimes have something exclusive to that the medium. Go, I forgot what soundtrack was that had the bonus track. The I don't know if it was what's the name, Poetic Justice, or was one of the
Jason's lyric.
I think it could have been. They had a bonus. The bonus track was on the CD, but it wasn't on the CD.
It was Jason Lear. I can't remember the name of the song, but
yeah,
I had the tape and the CD.
That was a dope soundtrack too. Boy.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It trolled money.
You know how disappointed I was when I looked on the back of that Above the Rim and did not see Pain.
Didn't see Pain.
That was her.
and that's how they started the movie.
Exactly.
Oh, I was so mad because I had to go dig up my tape, my cassette player just so I can listen to that song, man.
Matt over there playing music? Or that
Remo.
Yeah, I'm gonna join Remo.
Right. Hey, Remo done find that R. Kelly.
Remo trying to get me struck down, man.
Hey, man. They say what
right there, boy.
Hey, man, R. Kelly had some dope ass remixes.
Yeah, that's the only one.
I know. Man, I know he disturbed individual and stuff.
Yeah,
the remix he did for Anytime, Any Place, and then that Tony Braxton song.
You feel me?
Yeah.
You feel me? Hey, that song single-handedly brought Janet Jackson back.
Right. Right.
Single-handedly.
Hey man, I'm telling you, when he did that Gotham City remix,
yeah,
man, I hate that rap part. That chick talking about SES.
What did she say?
I mean,
that was your girl Missy.
That wasn't Missy. It was some other chick, man.
No, but I'm saying that's her writing it though.
Oh, okay, got
you know,
she's doing all that stuff.
You see that and all that mess. Like she was trying to be like Biz Markie.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you should have kept that in the notebook that you spit that out of.
Yeah, don't bring that out, man. We good.
I'm just gonna say this about what Jamel was talking about singles. I agree with everybody that the single drive the album.
I ain't say single.
I'm just gonna sit here and say that even if Busta Rhymes albums as a whole was average, it still was some quality on there to say it wasn't a whack album.
They're not whack. I know. There's nothing. Yeah, nobody said.
So the singles was gonna get like I brought when Disaster Strikes because there was so many great songs on the singles. So I was like, I'm down for that.
Man,
y'all
remember what was
still not on the vinyl?
What was Criss Cross' second album called?
Well, that was a good album.
Young, Rich, and Dangerous.
Here's the thing with that album. That album was better than the first album. Problem is, it did not have a standout hit.
I don't know. Back then, it was a hit. Yeah. Huh? Now you had 5 different remixes of they
because I looked at the chart. It did not chart.
No, it didn't chart.
Damn, the chart.
Larry said it was the bomb, not Young Rich.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah.
My bad.
But they had 5 different. I only knew they had 2.
Yeah, so I thought it was Young Rich and Dangerous.
Yeah, I know Young Rich and Dangerous was one because they had Tonight on it.
That is the second one then. Because they had like 5 different they had 5 different versions of that one song on that CD. And you listen to that. I think it was like track 4, and then there was 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13.
That was the beginning of the Spec. You remember Spec mixes? Where you get the acapella and you remix the song and send it back to them, and then if they took it, they pay you for it.
Yep.
That was why he did.
I mean, the bomb did go platinum, and I remember loving All Right with Supercat.
Yep.
And then there was Tonight's the Night, and then
Tonight's the Night, yeah.
Tonight is the night.
ERD was the third. Yeah, so it was the third album.
But I mean, it wasn't like it was like a thrown together thing because I think old boy was sick at the time.
He was sick, yeah.
So they really couldn't promote it the way they really needed to.
I got so tired of seeing folk wearing their clothes backwards, man.
That's it.
They couldn't do that.
Luckily out here it was just girls.
Hey, the sad part of it is it's coming back. Y'all just get ready. Somebody on TikTok when they see that jump video, it's a wrap.
No, because they're gonna get away from the skinny jeans.
Yeah, man.
If they do that, they're gonna have to forget all about these skinny jeans and when these leggings all up under their ass and shit.
We mentioned them earlier, the Locks. That first album, Money, Power, Respect, pretty much went platinum because of that song.
It did.
But the album,
that album wasn't terrible.
It wasn't a terrible album.
Jiggy with it wasn't terrible.
that was the worst song in the entire album. Good Lord. I don't see. That's why when they.
I love the Jada solo track.
The Jada song, yes.
Hey, what was funny was seeing Sheik Lucci in a shiny suit.
They're a gorilla, man. It's
But oh boy, we are the sheets just completely shits and buried all over that album.
But you know, the funny thing about We Are the Streets is the first half was way better than the second half.
Yeah,
that's a perfect example of somebody trying to force a primo beat.
No,
somebody
Timberland and Swiss Beats did majority of the production hit the second half of the album.
Yeah, that album was terrible, man.
It was terrible.
Like the premiere song was the best song, followed by terrible. Fuck You. Like I love that opening track by F.U. Go ahead, I'm
No, you're fine. I just have an unpopular opinion about Swiss Beats. I don't think he's that great of a producer.
No, he's not unpopular at all. Those two are
garbage, bro.
His beats are hit or miss, man. Mostly miss.
Mostly
miss because he ain't a musician.
Yeah. The thing is, to Max albums, it's like first of all, but like I was shocked. I ain't knew he produced that song. When I feel like, whoa, Swiss Beats produced Flesh My why can't he bring that every goddamn song?
Swiss, it seemed like every outside of DMX, it seemed like he wanted every song he do. He want to get two swords and just clang them in the background every song.
Bro, he single-handedly killed Dragon out.
You know what song that I remember they played on the radio from the Lock second album, and that shit aged horribly.
Wild Out. That's all the song. That's a good song. When I listen to that album, I'm skipping immediately. I don't think I even have that on my list.
That's like the same as Myth Bleak is off that first Myth Bleak album.
Who produced that song?
It sounds like a Swiss Beats song.
I think it was. That was when they was just giving him shit because he was DNY's nephew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That shit was garbage.
That's all you heard.
You over there like, he probably like, this was the one, man. I'm telling you, this song could be large.
The only Swiss Beat song I like he produced was Money Cash Hoes, and then that one sounded like he was just on a Fisher Price keyboard, just messing around, man.
What's the name of the track with Drag On off the Rough Riders?
Spit These Bars.
Oh, you talking about that? That's what for Drag On first album.
Yeah.
No.
You talking about the Rough Riders song?
Oh, you talking about Pina Colada?
No, I'm talking the one that Remo was just doing. It was out there, Rough Riders Volume 1.
Drag On Juvenile?
Oh, Down Bottom.
Down Bottom.
Down Bottom.
I liked that when it first came out. When I first heard that, I'm like, yo, that's not funny.
Yeah.
I can still listen. Cause I think when I listened to Rough Eyes album, I did.
They was trying to mimic the South, and what they ended up doing.
That's what it was.
What they ended up doing was putting the South, because the South was like, hell no, y'all not gonna fuck up our shit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna show you how to do it right. And once they did,
my biggest complaint with those compilation albums was they was not very good.
They not.
They were not
at
good.
all. Not at all.
They thought it was easy.
That Volume 2, sir.
The second one was just even worse.
Oh my God.
The best one on it was the Lox.
Volume 3 was garbage.
They had a Volume 3.
Yeah,
they had a Volume 4.
The first one was all right. The other two was terrible.
I never even listened to Volume 4. You know, on IG, you can post music. I sampled some of the songs on IG Music, and this shit is garbage.
What was the compilation where it was like they were doing something for AIDS or something like that, or Stop the Violence or something? What was that called?
America's Dying Slowly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yo.
With the Lost Boys, it had RZA, Wu-Tang Clan. It had.
I listened to that album twice, and I cannot tell you what that album is right now.
Meanwhile, while they were talking about America's Dying Slowly, Old Dirty Bastard got burnt twice.
Yeah,
it
right?
was on the gonorrhea.
Man,
that had the Burn on there. You remember the Burn?
Mm-hmm.
That was on there. That was Pete Rock and the Lost Boys.
Then I bought The Show.
The show was better than the soundtrack.
That soundtrack was trash, bro.
Yeah. You know what I watched on YouTube the other day though was a dope soundtrack with Survival of the Illest. Remember that Survival of the Illest tour with DMX and all them?
Yeah.
They got the whole concert on YouTube.
Yeah,
it was from the CD. Remember they gave you the concert with the CD when you bought it? It's got it on it, man. I watched it the other day. I was like, yeah, this is that shit right here. It was like at the Tunnel or something. Or no, it was at the Apollo. It was at the Apollo Theater.
For your next music show, man, we need to break down our favorite movie soundtracks. Because man, back in the
90s movie soundtracks are
bruh.
I can tell you one. I can tell you two. I can tell you two that will make it on the worst soundtracks ever.
Street Fighter.
Do it.
Street
Fighter. And the second one was Mortal Kombat.
And they had all rap on them, huh?
Exactly. I was stunned by that shit. Like,
man, it was a couple of songs on that Street Fighter track. I like, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Straight to my
Warriors.
We spent all around our planet twitching, but no one hit it. I like that song, man. Well, they come with it. Well, it's the nigga wrote I told them. Man, I like that.
Man,
Lord.
That soundtrack was slightly better than the movie.
Man.
I like slightly better than the movie.
Yo, I think
Spice One had a song.
You can say that. I can agree with that scene.
Yeah,
I like that Nas one-on-one song on the soundtrack. That one-on-one song was pretty dope. It was the best song for me.
Yeah, definitely.
What movie are thinking of right now?
That Mortal Kombat soundtrack, boy.
Who was on Mortal Kombat? Refresh my memory. I'm trying to remember.
Nobody.
No, but there was something on there that they tried to hype up. Somebody was on
that song.
No, when they screamed Mortal Kombat at the beginning of the movie, they had a whole song for that.
It had Joker trying to jump over cars and shit.
That was Fast and Furious.
Oh my god, man! You talk about jump over cars. Did y'all see yesterday's show with me and Vivi where we was just trashing Steven Seagal? I mean, we was just burying him, and he jumped over a freaking car in exit wounds.
Yeah, right. 275 pounds.
Hey, that's that. Y'all ever see how that man run?
He runs like a bitch.
Yeah.
They said that on the show yesterday. And man, I brought up by his wrist breaking abilities and shit too, boy.
Hey man,
he did.
The only thing I like about Steve
Must be the money.
Seagal is when he threw that dude in the phone booth on Alpha Justice, and then he came back out and he put his ass back in the phone.
You know, that's Alpha Justice. Is that the one where his boy was a mobster and he was chasing him?
That's the one where his homeboy got killed.
Yeah.
He went there talking about, hey man, where Mickey at? And and he put the pool ball in the napkin.
Yeah.
And beat in the mouth. Yeah.
That was so funny. Yo, that movie's good. And the one where he take on the Jamaicans. Those are the only two movies I can watch.
Man, he did the screw face at the end. I'm like this dude makes himself look so superior. I'm gonna kill you 3 times. I'm gonna stab your eyes out. I'm gonna break your back, and I'm throw you down the elevator shaft and let you get impaled.
Right?
I'm like, come on, man. What kind of brutality is that? Your overrated ass.
Yo, and how he killed his brother though.
Fatality.
Yeah, man. Steven Seagal be my best friend on a hot summer day.
And what you call it, Under Siege. I like that shit too.
Yeah, I'll say that that movie was carried by the cast.
Yeah, I was gonna say he had a cast.
Gary Busey and Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones is a bad guy. Was awesome.
Yeah, how you get Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Busey in the same movie?
Hey, hold on, Jace. Tommy Lee Jones as a villain ain't always good.
Mm-hmm. That
Man Forever sucked because of him over to top Two-Face. I hated that version of Two-Face.
Which one?
That's like
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever.
Oh yeah.
That's a real movie as a villain, and
So what you guys find at the con today? What did you find? You just found a bunch of stuff to finish some runs or what?
No, I don't feel like getting my book. Yeah, I'm almost finished with the cable run. I need 2 issues.
I found something yesterday.
What you get?
Is it a DC book from our shop?
Oh yeah,
nice. Man.
First Dread Star.
Yeah.
Did you hear me, Matt?
Yeah.
Did you find it?
My joke. I got Joker number 2.
Did you get it from the shop?
No.
Okay.
I got it.
I got a couple things. I ain't gonna go through everything, but I got a.
Hey,
I ain't gonna show up for my. This ain't a horse show.
What's that?
Check this out, though.
Did he up the price?
I don't know. I ain't heard nothing about him getting the books yet. Every DC book was damaged.
Hey,
every DC book was damaged.
He said he got shorted.
That ain't no. I told you what came out their mouth when I went to go get my books.
Like Shannon,
my entire pool was DC, and not one book was in that box. Oh well, we got.
You get this one?
They all got damaged. They got damaged, and we had to send them back.
Pick it up.
Oh man,
yeah, that one I went up there
today.
I didn't even pick it up.
Yeah, because I forgot to get my God of War number 2. I got that.
So you know what's funny? I'm gonna go up there. What's tomorrow? Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up there before I go to work. I'm like, so you mean tell me they overnighted you an entire DC shipment?
I forgot to give you your book.
So, Shannon brought up a good point this morning when we was at the card show. He said, how is it that some of these places get this stuff on Friday and Monday? And then if they plan on putting that stuff in y'all box, how is it not in there the day before,
Hey, all I know, it better. Matter of fact, I told you, if the damn cover, if they in my pool list, I want my discount. Cause what did he give us? What's the percent? 5%? If it's cover price, I'm pissed.
Sean,
yo,
we gotta talk about before we get off, y'all. We gotta talk about the episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier yesterday.
Oh man.
What y'all think about
episode? Very deep episode.
I still think old girl is the power broker.
Yeah, this episode really showed for the small scene
that's the small scene. That's a possibility, but who knows?
I still think it's Thunderbolt Ross, man.
That Did y'all see the setup of the Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be Citizen V, Zemo. Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna end up being that.
I got it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I got crunk when she said, "We're taking him to that after."
Yeah.
Oh. I right there automatically tell you. Yeah.
Yep.
Automatic.
It was a really good episode, man. I really.
Hey, I'm talking about Sam was pissed. His sister finna get all that White Wolf.
Man, hey, you seen that though? I was like, I told my wife, I was like, yeah, he been in Wakanda too long.
Yep.
Yeah, that chocolate, man.
I get good to him, boy. Sister's looking good.
I can't have that
one. And he like, I can't have that one.
Hey, screw that Asian girl from the first episode, man. I got some fine ebony sisters right here.
Hey, Booker know what time. Hey, James Buchanan know what time it is.
You imagine that? Every day you were all them women.
I couldn't do it.
And you know he was VIP because
that's what I'm saying.
Like, hey man, they had that man living in a tent outside.
No, but he still was taking. Now the reason because he was rehabilitating. That's the reason why. But I'm pretty sure he had access to everything.
Yeah, that
he wasn't out there just in the woods, man.
Hey, let me tell you,
out in the woods.
I wouldn't have been able to talk to nobody because they would have killed me. I would have tried every single one of the Dora Milaje.
Right?
They were like, kill this guy. Kill him.
It was a surprise seeing Elaine as Madam Hydra, but as long as she don't do that damn dance, we good.
Oh yeah.
Did y'all see them purple streaks in her hair?
Yeah.
She had the purple boots.
Purple boots, purple streaks.
You know how she walked up in them boots had me rolling. She walked up in them boots like a fucking dope.
I thought she was gonna do the dance right there with the boots on. I was like, that's all that was coming to my mind.
Like she was trying her hardest to look good. Like,
but y'all know what though? Y'all know what, man? Like real talk, I really love the way that they're actually setting all this stuff up, man. Do y'all realize between just WandaVision and this show that they've expanded the Marvel Cinematic Universe like 20-fold? Yep. I mean, they talked about the Raft, they brought in Hydra, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's like, and then of course, WandaVision.
Al. What we talked about last week because I was asking you.
Mm-hmm.
Since you said they bringing up all that stuff.
Oh.
Look at
and they in my Mars.
Top logos.
Big money grill.
Hey, I had to do it, man. Hey, I walked in there and there was this dealer dude, and he was like, I seen you walk over there. He's like, I knew exactly what you was doing. Because the store opened up this morning. I knew they was that price. I walked straight to him and got him off the wall.
Yeah, I just saw that right there. Like,
is that true? I seen people bringing up on Twitter.
It might be.
Yeah.
How?
But was she ever a nurse? That's all.
It could have been Peggy Carter.
Nah, it wasn't Peggy.
It wasn't Peggy.
Would have to be.
No, but it said the nurse.
Peggy but he was back in the day.
I'll find out.
But Peggy was still an agent.
She was an agent.
She was a top agent.
Why would she go back to? Why she go to being a nurse? I don't believe that. Like, why people bring her?
Right. She could have been working a mission. Though. Think about it.
Maybe if she could have decided herself as a nurse.
I don't know. They would have been working. She would have been working. What was her goal? Was to set them free.
It could have either been that, or it could have been. I saw that the other day somewhere.
I see.
It could have been either that, or it could have been because he was in the Super Soldier Serum the Super Soldier program to keep an eye out on him.
But see, if she was a nurse at first, then that would have been before Cap became Cap.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
because he had the Super Soldier Serum before Steve. Right. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I retract my statement.
I thought that whole scene was phenomenal. How it referenced the Red Tails.
You think it'll end up being this?
This one is
see that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, hear me out.
Oh boy, yeah.
Mephisto
You
is
think
power
they'll have a
broker.
series with that? Captain
I
America?
don't know.
They should do that in the What If Captain America, right?
Both of them, him and Isaiah
Isaiah
Bradley.
Bradley versus Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers never gotten frozen.
Because
Okay, I
they
can see
keep
that.
saying there was
I
two.
can see that.
There's multiple shields, right? And they don't belong to the government. Oh boy,
Speaking
can
of
just
the
make one if
shield.
he wants to.
Hey, so, what is he making it out of?
You know,
Aluminum foil.
Right.
Bondulu.
He got a whole bunch of spatulas and melted it down.
Hey, he got the Bondulu shield. He got
Man, what
Yeah,
is
he
that shit
hammered
gonna
that
stop?
shit- Yeah, he hammered that shit out and took some Krylon paint to it. It was like, hey, it's all fire ass man. He like,
Not Krylon. Hey, but you know what though? He was working on that shit hard as hell. Though,
he,
bro.
I mean, he was getting that hammer
hey,
with
he
some
had
solid,
it, hey, he forged it out
Oh,
too
man,
nice, though, right? Yo, he was like, bam, bam, we
Hey,
uneven surface.
but you know what though?
Perfect.
This is the thing. The question though, is he gonna actually show up? Because you know it's probably gonna be a conversation between him and Sam in the last episode. So is he gonna show up?
That's gonna probably happen.
Is he gonna
That's
show up?
easy.
But the question is he gonna show up as a agent of Hydra, or is he gonna show up as U.S. agent?
I think he's gonna show up with the black uniform, the U.S. agent.
Yeah.
So is he
But
gonna
keep it
stitch
out,
that
though.
too?
Hey, remember when he
Is
said
he
I
the
called him?
seamstress?
No, remember he said I asked the
Oh, well, he is with
Wakanda for a
old girl
favor.
though. No,
No, he asked Wakanda for a favor. I think inside of that box is his new uniform. And it's
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were talking about
Sam Wilson.
I'm talking about
we were
John
talking about
Walker.
what's his name?
Yeah, John Walker.
Oh yeah.
We talking about John Wall.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
John Walker
I think he's gonna show up in the old school. No, but I'm saying like Sam ain't gonna take the serum. He gonna have to
He's
fight.
never
Old
gonna
boy.
take the serum. Yeah,
He's gonna have to fight old boy, and he
What-
needs an advantage.
What serum can he take?
Ain't nothing left but what John Walker took.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's more.
No, there's some out there. You like I said, Ross got the serum.
Yeah.
Ross
I mean,
got
Okay,
did
so
they
what
make
was
some
that-
pink, the pink herb now instead of purple?
So what was that in that suitcase with
That's
Freckle
what I'm
Girl?
saying. That's Sam's new
That's
uniform.
gonna be Sam.
No. Remember when the Irish girl was talking to the dude and they brought a briefcase to him?
Yes,
Was that one that Batroc that brought?
Yeah.
Batroc
And that
brought
was
the case to
Sharon,
him.
and Sharon hired him.
Yeah, Shannon hired
but-
him, man.
I don't remember seeing serum in there though.
No,
It was
those
a
were like
briefcase or
bombs.
something.
Yeah, I was gonna say those look like weapons. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like
I think it's gonna be
grenades.
weapon and bomb. They remember they're gonna try and probably blow up the place.
Yeah,
What is it, CRC or whatever it is?
they were trying to blow up that meeting they were having.
Yeah, the GRC meeting. They're gonna blow that.
GRC. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, because even the guy was like, "Do we really have to vote on this?" Because he wanted to eliminate the
Right.
refugees off the gate.
Yeah, but you know
Like, I just make a call.
that scene right there made me want them to go ahead and blow that bitch up.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the
I
hell?
think it's gonna be a three-way confrontation. It's gonna be that Carly and Sam, then John is gonna come in and see that's why I think Bucky is gonna come in, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be. I think this is gonna be all about Sam.
I need old school Bucky to go ahead and wake his ass up.
He gonna come back, man. He gonna come back and help.
He's gonna come back. I think he's gonna appear in the fight, but I don't think it's gonna be. He's gonna get the final blow or the final. That's why I think if they do fight again, I'm talking about John Walker, Captain America, the U.S. agent. It's gonna be Sam and him going at it, not without Bucky.
Right.
It's just gonna be those two 1-on-1. Because Sam's gonna have a vibranium suit. That suit's gonna be
Exactly.
It's
That's
gonna
what
be
I'm saying,
vibranium.
James.
So now
That's what's inside the suitcase.
yeah, he could stay in the suit.
That's what Bucky brought to Sam.
Yeah.
That's
gonna
what
be vibranium Captain America suit, which is like, yo,
because he don't have the serum, he needs something.
yeah,
Right. Right.
that suit's gonna power. It's gonna power.
Are the wings gonna shake? Like, are they gonna have the ability to shake?
The wings are with your boy now.
No. Hear me out. Hear me
Yeah.
out. With Sam Wilson.
He's gonna have the wings.
He's gonna have the wings.
Yeah.
That I guarantee you, that's what they made.
I think they have to have them.
But
what you gonna say, X?
Are they going to be able to like shapeshift, so to speak, and form like they did in the comics?
Yeah, because in the comments,
They from what?
in the comments they say shit. Yeah, he could
like he can make them almost whatever he wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, look at him. They didn't get no wings from
Man,
Costco or Sam's. They got them things out straight from Wakanda, man.
Yeah.
We don't see him. We don't see him on screen, but you know, T'Challa is handling the business and doing all that stuff and bringing it over him.
Is
I don't know. I
T'Challa
think
or
they got
Shuri?
another shield over there. It might not look like it, but I think they got another shield.
Well,
That
I
might
mean,
be Shuri.
they
I
got
don't
them
know.
gauntlets. They still got Cap's gauntlets from Infinity War.
Here's the thing, and people seem to glance over. I don't see a lot of people. Bucky knew Steve. Steve told Bucky that he wanted to give the shield to Sam.
Yeah,
that's what Steve know. Bucky know all along that the shield's going to belong because that's what Steve honored him.
But I don't even think
even Bucky said that.
He said that. People seem to go over. I'm surprised. I don't see a lot of people now bringing that up. Like Steve told Bucky that he wanted the shield to go to Sam.
Right. Because even Bucky was like, I didn't agree with giving the shield to a black man, and I was like, whoa, bruh.
He
like,
said that. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he said it.
I can't remember him saying that.
He said that, and then he apologized to him. He literally said, I didn't agree with giving the shield to a black man, and I want to apologize to you for that.
And that's why I put in the group earlier today what I put about that the whole man that episode was deeper than just being like a sci-fi like Marvel like comic book. It was some deep stuff in that episode, man, for real, bro.
I was like,
good episode.
After hearing him say that, that's why I was like, well, Isaiah, that's why Isaiah didn't want that bitch in this damn house.
Yep.
That's why Isaiah didn't feel that nobody will accept him as a Captain America because he's black.
And that's also why he said no self-respecting black man would want to be Captain America.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whoa, Bucky.
In the comics, Steve introduced Sam as Captain America, but he was still around. So I don't think that's what some people think that old Cap is gonna come. He's gonna come back and have introduce America to him.
Yeah,
because that's what some people speculate that because what's the name? The actor who played John Walker kind of said that he kind of left it open that he could come back in he could be in the final episode.
Yeah, he also.
But
that was a smoke screen for.
I'll be back there. Remember,
that was a smoke screen for what's her name though? Juliet Dreyfus.
But remember, his grandson said, "Hey, I'm gonna be back there."
Oh yeah,
like almost like he ready to get down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's in his blood.
That's what I'm saying. But like they were saying, like who's his dad though?
Yeah,
where he at?
Where he at? Because he should have part of sin in his blood.
Yeah, like who's his dad? His dad is just kind of gone. You know what I'm saying?
No. His dad wasn't gonna have it in his blood because that his grandson is from his daughter. His Isaiah Bradley's daughter, it was the mother of the grandson. So his dad ain't got nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense because they never mentioned his dad. Like, who's his dad?
Right. Isaiah didn't have a son.
Either way, it was a good ass episode.
Not in the show. Yeah.
It was a great episode, man.
Did y'all watch Invincible?
Hey man,
that show last week episode, but the brutality of this show.
Told y'all last week.
Man,
it's from Mortal Kombat brutalities for sure.
Like that fight scene last week. Hey, I felt for Mark this episode more than I did last week.
Well, he's still recovering, man. The man was still recovering from that ass.
And that's why I feel for him more this week than I did last week.
And then what's his name for the drop? The hammer on folks that.
Yo, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that dude jaw after he got backhanded by Mark?
Yeah. He backhanded him like.
Hey, but you know what? He deserved a little bit of that.
He did.
For real.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did. But he that bit hard.
that was when somebody did like a half circle back motion and a hard punch.
It's the guy Street Fighter 2, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Backhand.
That's a backhand. That wasn't even a backhand. That was a back fist.
That was a nice backhand compliment for him.
Yeah,
I was great day.
Well, hope they don't put his jaw back together, man.
Man, they finna probe the shit out that dude.
Hey, the sick shit he was doing, man. Shit, I would have done far worse.
Far worse. He don't deserve to live. That shit he's doing. I don't know.
That man. Hey. So was that a jab at Cyborg?
Probably.
The creation,
yeah. With the arm and all that stuff. Yeah.
Not just while he was still alive. He was still alive when they were when he did all that stuff to him.
Yeah.
It didn't cut that bit vocal cords.
He cut the vocal
cords. Hey, that was a big old chunk of vocal cord too. He should have died instantly. That was a heart. Good Lord, a spleen or something. Great day. Oh yeah, but hey, shit finna hit the fan. Punch a hole in the wall after his wife.
Oh yeah.
He ain't finna get no nicking for a long time.
I need to get finish reading the book because something told me that they gonna clash with each other.
Who?
Oh yeah.
The father and son, they're gonna clash.
It's inevitable.
They're definitely gonna clash.
They went ahead and hinted that in the first episode when he killed the whatever the name of the group was.
I think the clash is gonna be between because of the mother.
Well, it's gonna be.
Now remember, they got the house wiretapped, so they heard that shit. They heard it. They heard that conversation. So now they know. They
know, but it's a clash between him and his mom that's gonna strike her. But then his dad is the essential evil of the show now. So that's inevitable.
The last 3 episodes, ever since he came back from when he whooped those aliens' ass, you can see that there's something about him that he's trying to do himself.
Hey man, and I'm sorry.
Episode yet.
I'm sorry. The girlfriend, what's her name? Amber? Is that her name?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be with her. I'd be with the super chick.
Eve.
That's what it was setting up for.
That's what they're setting up.
Yeah, I would have been with her off the rip. I like, oh, you didn't like me until you start seeing me with this shit. Nah, you good. Yeah. Good. I'm gonna be all right. She got superpowers.
Superpowers.
Yeah, he gonna fuck around and tell her, huh? He gonna tell her.
Yeah, he not being honest with her or something. Shit. What's the thing?
Who? What now?
The girl he's with. He gonna tell her his identity. Watch.
Oh, I thought you said she pregnant. I was like, I don't think so.
No.
I was like, what in the side did you see?
What's the guy name? His best friend knows that he's on Invincible now. So
does he?
He knew. He figured it out.
All he had to do was look up at his face with the mask on, like, oh my god.
Hey man, that's the attention to detail that kind have in this show.
Exactly.
In the show. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I know where you at. Yeah.
Yeah.
All it takes is for Superman to pull on some glasses and change up his hair, and nobody knows that he's Superman. He's Clark Kent.
Yeah, he do like this 3 times.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh man, but hey, same thing be said for Wonder Woman.
But I don't think many people know
put her hair up in the scrunchie and you think she's somebody totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
She actually put on clothes. I don't know who.
Put on clothes. You still can't know that.
What in the world?
Yeah.
Ignore the entire face. What?
Exactly.
That is amazing.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the show. We've been on for over 3 hours. We had some heated conversations, but it was all good. Loved it. Hey man, I'm going to attempt to do a video showing off everything that I got. It might be 2 parts because I got a Matt Oldham Hall type stuff. So
oh shit,
I got like 4 or 5 bags.
Hey, I have a Remo Hall.
Remo Hall now. Oh man, Remo set the standards.
Taking a break for a little while.
Y'all got some Wonder Twin Power Activate halls and shit, man.
I know, man. But it was great hanging out with you guys again. It was great to have X on the show along with Jace. Great conversations.
Yeah.
R.I.P. DMX, Black Rob.
Yes, sir.
Gonna be missed, and hopefully we can do another music show. But this one was a long time coming. Had to get all the schedules set up. So, but peace out, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you next week. Will the Common Call be back?
We're gonna take it next week off, and we'll come back the week after.
All right.
No. Hey, we going to Dave's the week after next, right?
Hopefully.
That was the schedule.
Yeah. So now we'll probably be off for the next 2 weeks, man. Then we'll be back.
You guys doing that you going twice a month now or just once?
I try to at least go once a month, once every other month.
All right, so in 2 weeks, the Comic Call will be back, and we'll probably be talking shit about comic shops because this seems like that's what we've been doing lately.
Hey, bro,
if it pissed me off, you know something wrong.
Yeah. So later, everybody.
Peace. The books are spoken for.